Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing this evening? Bless Lulu, number one. Let me pop her up here. She says, "Hey, everyone. Much love to you, girl." Amen. Justice for Quentin. Absolutely. Absolutely. I hear his mama been out acting like a party animal, right? She's out acting like a party animal. Well, law enforcement's out looking for her baby, right? Who the hell does that? Casey Anthony, right? Candace Wells, right? A whole lot of these bitches. Makes you wonder, right? Absolutely. And then she's staying up in a hotel. Cheap hotel wasn't good for her, right? Nah, she had to go stay at, one of them that's got the big old palm trees out front and, $100 a night. Who in the hell's paying for that? I mean, I think mommy, grandma, we just call her old Grams. Old Grams was complaining and wanting child support, right? For the two kids, just filing charges to get child support, not just from her daughter, Leilani, but also from the fathers of the two children. And so, Granny, if you're in such need for that child support and your daughter couldn't pay before, who the hell is paying for that hotels now, right? Who's paying for a $300 tab at at the restaurant, at the bar, the liquor place? $300 tab. You and your girlfriends and you guys all out partying, and this baby, this grandmother in my book. This is my opinion, but that grandmother, who was acting holier than thou. Oh, my daughter, she did it. She told me that the baby's, she put it in the trash. She can't remember. I know my daughter's guilty though. Went over to the babysitter's house. I think you might be guilty too. And going on, mayhem everywhere. Right? Billy Joe, you was going mayhem on the babysitter. I think you took my grandson. My daughter did it. You're all over the place with it. All over the place with it. And then you come down out and say, "Oh, my daughter don't remember anything. She stick my grandson in the trash." You're out partying with her, right? You're out there. You want to get this pity party for your grandson being missing. Is basically what you're saying. I want a pity party for my grandson being missing. But I'm going to go party with the very person that caused him to come up missing, right? You did not keep those two children put in custody safe, Grandma. And you're still partying with the very fucking person that shouldn't have been in your home in the first place or around the children, and that you shouldn't be around now partying at hotels and bars with, right? That's what I'm talking about. You want to talk about pissed? Everyone out here in the community has a right to be upset. We, the people, get invested in these cases, right? We, the people, get invested in these cases of these missing children. We're the voice for the voiceless, and thank God we are. Because grandma ain't, right? Grandma's not. She's out partying with the very person that she believes destroyed her granddaughter, that law enforcement pretty much knows destroyed, or grandson. I'm talking about. I'm thinking of Candace or Grandis when I'm talking about Billy Joe. You guys gotta excuse me. Working all these different cases can get you jumbled up here and there. I'm talking about Quentin, but I'm off on Grandis and Summer, right? But bottom line is, she believes this daughter killed her grandson. The police, law enforcement pretty much know that the daughter did it, right? At least that's what they're telling us. Telling us this. They're out there searching and working endlessly. Endlessly. I mean, they got hazmat suits on out in a landfill of freaking garbage and infection right now, with COVID and who knows what else going on right now. I mean, I hear that even, the flesh eating is really bad out in Florida since that storm, which, when it gets bad in one place, it probably gets bad in other places. And they're out here in a landfill of infection, going through all of that garbage to find this grandbaby, while these two are out there on the main drag, like they're in Vegas, partying their asses off, right? Yeah, absolutely. That's what's going on right now. And then when people found out where they was and went to that hotel, screaming hot, well, they got kicked out of the hotel. From my understandings, they have been asked to leave the hotel because the hotel does not want the attention coming there and, destroying their business. People don't want to stay there. It gives the hotel a bad name, right? When the hotel looks like it's harboring a fugitive, right? Basically, a lady that allegedly has murdered and put her child in the trash, right? The hotel want nothing to do with that, because that could ruin their business. Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't want to go to a hotel that's got Leilani there, would you? I would not want to go there. And I sure in the hell don't want to ever think I got the same room as someone with the mind frame able to do what she has done, right? Absolutely not. Hey, Wendy, I love you guys too, girl. She said, we love you, PG. Amen. But yeah, I mean, this is the BS that's going on, and we have every right to be angry. We've got every right to be angry upon this case, as we are with the Wells case. Ben Hill Road, right? It's BS. And I have took note that all of these people destroying their children have one thing in common. I was going over a couple other cases today, and I'm going to come out and talk about them over the next few days. But both of these little boys were both named Levi, and both of them, the parents lied. The one said that, two guys came, in the with May's face, and she ran off, and I don't know if anybody else knows of this, remembers or knows of that case, but she claims she ran and got away, and when she came back, the baby was gone. BS. BS. Um, why is the door always open, or they're always, there's always this off the wall scenario with these children when they come up missing. Oh, I put them in the house for 2 minutes. What? That's what I'm talking about. Why don't the cops just say, turn around, put your arms behind your back, and let's go? I mean, stories like that, they're lying, right? You know they're lying. You know it's bullshit. And I'm just really, you know, sitting there like, what the hell is the law enforcement thinking? Why are we putting up with, this? Why are we, what's going on? What how much do you have to have today in 2022? How much do you got to have to put these people where they belong? I don't know. It sure is a hell of a lot more than they had to have all the way down through history. That's for damn sure. I mean, you know, they've made it harder and harder and harder to prosecute these criminals. It's almost like this system is made for, to protect the evil people, and the victims are getting treated like, they don't matter. Like, oh well, you know. It's like it's like this world is just singing another one bit to dust, right? And moving on. It's crazy. Victoria, hello, PG in chat. Number 2, girl. You number 2. And Laura came in. Laura Jean came in. Number 3. Hey, y'all. Hey to you, girl. How are you tonight? How you doing, Flip Flop? She says, prayers for Quentin. Much love. Absolutely. And prayers for Summer. Much love. God bless. God bless. Absolutely. I so appreciate that. Lisa said, hey, PG. Hey to you, girl. How you doing, Scorpion Queen? She says, hey, everyone. Much love. No summer, no peace. Amen. Absolutely. Absolutely. You keep that rolling, girl. No summer, no peace. Absolutely. Don and Candace will not have no peace until we find summer and bring them home. Hello, PG and family, says always L8. She says much, much love. Summer and Quentin for everybody. She put the red heart there too, so God bless. How you doing, Deputy Sheriff? She says, hey, PG in chat. Hey to you. I hope you're doing good tonight. That picture of Barney always cracks me up. I love it. I heard Billy Joe's handing out her number. You think she would let the old deputy ride on the back of her cycle? That is hilarious. Yeah, she probably let anything on the back of that cycle, right? I would imagine. I agree, Boots. Absolutely. I agree. I so agree. You know, um, you look at the Casey Anthony case, um, her dad was in law enforcement, right? And I still think that's how she got, her walking papers is, the fact her dad was in law enforcement. But, and, he's rubbed elbows probably with a lot of people. So, um, I'm pretty sure that's how, Casey got away with, what we all know she done, piece of tape over her daughter's mouth with a heart on it. I'm sure just the local Joe criminal that, you know, what I'm saying is, um, most people that, most people that kidnap or destroy a child don't put a piece of tape with a heart on it over their mouth. That right there is like a calling card of someone very close to the child. Law enforcement knows it. And then she like put the child, um if you stood at her parents, you could see the child, or at least the place from the distance, right? That's how close to the home she puts the kid. You know, she was looking for it to be found, um, at some point, and it was. But, you know, and we all know Casey Anthony's case had guilt written all over it, right? Guilt all over it. But law enforcement, and our law system allowed her to walk away. They allowed her to, walk away. But did she really walk away? No. She gets attacked everywhere she goes. Nobody likes her, right? She's really living a life of seclusion anyway out there, Yeah. But sometimes, when you're when you have that big stamp on your back, like Casey Anthony does, you're free but not ever free, right? You've always got to be looking over your shoulder. Um, you don't really ever get to, live. She won't ever live life like she wants to. Put it that way. Not ever. And I'm sure that she's been attacked a lot. We probably don't hear about it, but most of the time. But not too long ago, she was in the news for being attacked, right? People don't like people like that. So, is she living a great life? Hell no. No, she won't ever live a great life again in her life. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, nobody cares. I hear that the daughter has her own lawyer. Grandma also is lawyered up right now. I think grandma's lawyered up because she knows they're not going to give her those kids back, and possible um, endangerment charges could be put upon grandma for leaving them in the hands of Leilani, knowing that, she was not supposed to be around them in the first place. So grandma's got to lawyer up as well, right? To save her own ass during all of this. Yeah, that's true, Boots. That's true. I agree. Yeah. Wendy, I understand that. I understand that. Heartless. These people are pure evil. Rest in peace, all these missing and heavily. Oh, yeah. When Jesus says, hey, you don't want them, I'd be glad to take them back, right? He's glad to take them back. They were gifts that were treated like dirt, right? They weren't respected. and they return to the giver. Absolutely. The thing is, I'm a woman, but I believe in justice. And law enforcement doesn't treat men and women the same. Oh no, they don't. Man would really be locked up by now. Uh, I don't, eh, for something like this, probably. For something like this, yes. But, um, I mean, a lot of men do bad things to children, and they don't get, that all they get is have to register as an SO, right? I mean, if they do get jail time, it's like 6 months, a year, and they let them back out, and that's okay. I mean, yeah, yeah, our children are the least of us, right? You have men, then you have women and children. The children are the least of us, but they should be put first, right? They should be put above all because they are the least and they need the most protection. And at one time, that's the way it was. You touch a child and you wasn't safe no matter where you were, right? You better hope the law got you. That's what you better hope. I mean, the law was the one who's going to protect you in society. Um, that ain't the way it is anymore. You know, people just, they don't seem to care, you know, about children. Children or old people or actually anyone, to be honest with you. It's just like, oh, well, I mean, nothing's shocking anymore. Nothing is shocking. Maybe that's the problem, right? Evil's running so rampant that nobody's shocked any longer. It used to be, if something happened, people were really shocked and they all came out together and they wanted something done about it. But it's happened so much, people are numb to it. They're numb to the violence. They're numb to all of, everything going on. And it's not shocking, so, they just move on. Like, oh, well, I heard the other day, if you think this is bad, I heard the other day. And I was like, what? Really? It. I just hope little Quentin got in at least one good hit. Yeah. You know, I'm sorry, but sometimes we have to laugh and keep from crying, right? And that is funny, Deputy Sure. That is funny, I'm not gonna lie. That is super cute. Cindy said, "I'm doing good, staying warm." It must be cold where Cindy's at. It must be freezing wherever she is. But yeah, you know, this mother and the grandmother, I understand. I understand the mom. I understand the mom acting out the way she's acting. If she was a good person, she couldn't have done what she did, right? If she was a caring person, she couldn't have did what she did. I mean, I fully understand, you know, her um low level, you know, her low life level of life right now. I can fully grasp, you know, this mother acting out the way she is, because if you are mentally unstable enough to do what she did, you're mentally unstable enough to do anything. So this mother's partying and everything did not shock me in the least. The grandmother, yes, the grandmother who was acting, like I said, holier than thou, and all for her grandson and against her daughter, and then we see this. I am shocked. Absolutely. I still can't understand. I still can't understand this in relation to God. I've read why bad things happen to good people 3 times. Still, I don't understand it. I not question God. I just don't get it. Well, KU, I try to do my best to help you understand. Um, understand, because all humans are born on this earth with, you know, all of us are born with choice, right? Every last one of us. And them choices, whether it be good or evil, end up saying at the end which direction you're going to head, up or down, right? Well, bad people do evil things to all people. Like, just what I'm saying is, evil people don't just do bad things to good people. They do bad things to everybody, right? Because they're evil. And that's their choice, right? That's their choice, is to do evil. Now, all good people, if you open yourself up to evil humans, if you don't stay true to yourself, and keep your eyes open and stay face the truth about others, then what you're going to do is you're going to open yourself up to evilness. And when you allow that to walk in your door, then you subject yourself, no matter how good of a person you are. God gave you the brains and the mind and the wisdom to be able to discern between good and evil. And it tells you to go out of the way of your enemies, right? Go around them, not within the midst of them, but around them. That means out of the way of them. It tells you to just stay away from bad people, right? Don't sit with them. Don't have nothing to do with them. Stay on guard for them. That's why you got a suit of armor. Now, if you open yourself up to it, it's going to get you. We've got to be careful to not open ourselves up to it. And that's what Grandma did, is, she opened herself up to, she knew how evil and everything her daughter and the people her daughter keeps company with, but she opened herself up and let it in, right? And it destroyed the child that, God picked her to protect, and she didn't protect it. You see what I'm saying? And that's why evil happened to her. Evil happened because she did not do what was righteously she should have been doing. So, that's what happens. Okay, girl, I'm bringing you up, Robin. Did you want to close your camera, or you want to keep it open? It's up to you, hon. How you doing tonight, girl?
I got a question. It's not about what you're talking about. I have my son's ashes. I've had my son's ashes since he's passed away. And they're in the same container that the cremation place put them in,
Right.
because I don't have an urn. Someone told me to move him he's been in the bathroom all this time. Someone told me to move him around the house and put a ring of salt around him.
What?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Girl, I thought you were supposed to bring them home. Get like you can get like one of them big vases at like flea markets or used furniture stores and things like that. A lot of times you go in, they'll have you know some beautiful, beautiful big old big vases. I mean, I don't know if they're a urn, but they sure to hell look like one, right? And
Mhm.
and you know you can um transfer him into that, and you can get those for like 20, 30, $40 and transfer him into that. That's what I thought you're supposed to do, is bring him home, transfer him into a some kind of vase, and put him up on the mantle, right?
Mhm.
And they just sit there, and um they just sit there, and I guess keep some people company knowing they have them there with them. But you
I
got me
don't know.
bent.
This
I'm
person
not
told
I'm not bringing nobody's ashes home with me.
I
um I'd be
I
scared about
did.
that.
We spread like half of them, more than half, in all the lakes, and then
Hmm.
I had took some to Michigan and put them on my daughter's grave.
Right.
But
See, um if
salt
indeed
salt
if
is
in
supposed to protect him. I don't know. I don't know.
I would have went to my daughter's grave, and I would have dug a hole, like I'm planting a rose bush,
Right?
and I would have dumped his ashes there and planted some flowers, and knowed he was always going to be with his sister. And when
Mhm.
it's your time to go, then you could be put there as well. You could all be together. I mean, that's my ideal of beautifulness. But bringing somebody home, sit them on my table,
I
I don't think so.
I I wanted him. Um and
And they have those little crosses and stuff now, rings. They got rings, I think, that you can open up and put some of the ashes in and wear. Or they have the crosses, the necklaces. I don't think I would do that, because that's God's cross, and you're not supposed to put nothing dead. You know what I'm saying is, it tells you not to like if you go to a funeral, you are unclean until you wash your clothes, take a bath, wash your clothes, and evening comes, right? So I'm
mhm.
not putting nothing on dead or unclean in a cross. I'm not going to do that. Beep beep, back it up. That was just a no no no. But I'm sure they sell other necklaces that can be like lockets and things that can be opened, and you can put them in, and it would be just fine. I wouldn't do the cross thing, um, but
Yeah.
yeah, if I was you, I think I would have left him, put him with his sister, and left him there.
I couldn't leave all of them there. I want him with me too. And was
Well,
it
he'll always be with you, hun, because he's always with you anyway. He's in your
mhm.
heart. He's in your soul. He's in your mind. You
Most
know.
everywhere he went fishing, we put his ashes in the
I
water.
I mean, his ashes has nothing to do with his spirit. His spirit's already left the body, and what people don't understand is the only thing you're packing around is some carcass. You're just packing around a carcass, that's been turned into ashes, but it's a shell. He's gone, hun. He's done out of that, and either he's went to the other side. He's went to the other side to wait for you, or with his sister, or they're both. They're both still right there with you anyway. You can't see them, but they're there.
I can't see them. I can't hear them. I don't. I
You
don't
know,
understand.
I mean,
People
you,
say that they talk to Summer, and no, you don't talk to Summer. I don't understand that. How you talking to Summer?
um, well, I'm gonna
Summer's
tell.
talking back too, and I'm like, this spirit box thing is like really weird.
I don't believe in spirit boxes or or I don't mess with people that mess with that kind of stuff
I
at
don't.
all.
I
It's
mean,
like
dreams are
stay
different.
away from me, right? Stay away from me. But I'm going to tell you something. Yes, now, I don't care what people say. I think, I think that sometimes you can see or you can hear, you know, the dead. Absolutely. Like what I'm saying is now some people say, "Oh, PG, you're crazy." Um, no, I'm not crazy. I mean, how many times do it run through your mind something that your mother always told you, like, look both ways across the road, or something your mother always said? We all have something in our minds that our mother was always warning us about, right? And how many times does that come? Like, make sure you lock the door when you leave. Make sure the door's all. So how many times after this person has passed away, you have that thought of what they said? Do you and right out of the blue, right? Right out of the blue sometimes. It just you're ready to go to bed, you ain't thinking of nothing, and all of a sudden that thought comes to your mind. Do you really think that was just you? No. That's them talking to you, right? That's them talking to you. So but you don't think of it in that way, right? Because that would scare you. But you know, they are talking to you because they're still with you in your mind, your soul, and your heart, and they always will be. Until you meet again, they will always be with you.
No, I'm
So,
sorry I interrupted your story about what's going on with Quentin. I can't figure it out.
but yeah, girl, I don't. Why they tell you put salt around your son?
I guess the salt protects him. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't. I watched JD's Paranormal, and he's a Christian man, and he walks around cemeteries with a spirit box and talks
Is
to.
he's a minister?
He's a Christian.
He's a Christian, and he's walking around with a spirit box.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's BS, hun. And that's one of them people that Jesus is gonna be like, he's gonna say, Lord, Lord, and Jesus is gonna say, I don't know you, right? Because you can't serve two masters. You can only serve one. And the Bible plainly tells us to stay a hell away from that stuff, right?
Hmm.
So don't tell me he's a Christian. I don't want to hear that. He's a weirdo. That's strange. I ain't listening to nothing they got to say. What I'm saying is the dead ain't supposed to be sitting on somebody's mantle. They're supposed to be put to rest. And how do we put them to rest? Put them in the ground where they can rest, where they can have peace forever, right? I mean, when God, you know, when the Lord comes, even the sea will give up its dead. But if you spread somebody all over the place, man, it's going to be a job for the Lord to pull them back together, right?
Oh my God.
I mean, that's how I think.
I mean, that's what we did though. I didn't know what to do. I just thought that, spreading his ashes through all the chain of lakes here where I live, and then I took some, like I said, almost a whole bag full of his ashes, took them up north and put them on Nicole's grave.
That
I
would have
put
been the place to leave them all.
I put
I mean, I
little
would have I would have buried them. I mean, I would have dug a hole and put him to rest with his sister. And that would have put you at peace as well. You knew where they were. You knew one day you could be with them. I mean, it's just a peaceful. feeling, right? But yet, like you said, you didn't know. You didn't know, and that's not your fault. I mean, you didn't know. You can't, ain't nothing you can do now, but what I'm saying is, you don't need to put salt around nobody because that's your son. You loved him. You're not afraid of him. Don't, why would you put salt around him? I mean, that's a little fucking weird if you ask me.
Okay, cause you've never heard of that either. I've never heard of that either. I just was like, what?
No, honey, the only, you know, I know a whole lot about, the, you know, the stuff you're talking about. Trust me, I do. I wish I didn't, but I do. And, yeah, you don't want to get into that shit. You don't want to get into that. Um, I mean, are you having problems within your home? Are your lights flipping off and on? Is things being moved
No,
around? Are
no,
you are you
no,
having is your bed shaking in the middle of the night?
no,
Are you levitating or anything?
no.
Then you don't have no damn need to be worrying about his ashes or him doing anything violently to you. So why someone's telling you to, basically what they're trying to tell you is what I'm getting is they're telling you to put salt around him because to keep him trapped in there.
Right. That's exactly what
That
it
that
was.
that is what they're trying to tell you.
Right.
But it don't sound to me like he's getting out, right? It don't sound to me like he's out running around.
Like they told me to move him out of the bathroom and move him somewhere else in the house because he feels trapped. I'm like, whoa, well, he's not trapped. I
What is he
mean,
doing in the bathroom? What is
I
he
didn't
doing in a
never know where to
bathroom, man?
put. I never knew where to put his ashes at.
I'm not being. I promise everybody, I am not trying to be funny at all. I'm not trying to be funny at all. But you hear somebody's ashes are in a bathroom. That's like, I mean, somebody goes in there, they might flush him down a commode or something, right?
No,
But
he's in.
a kid might be like, "What is this?" and flush it. You know what I'm saying? I would be like, I don't think I'd want him in a bathroom. Um,
No,
I mean, there's some place in your house. I'm sure you got maybe a beautiful fireplace or, you know, um, a side table set off somewhere in a corner or something, or maybe a
yeah,
hutch.
I'm gonna
And
move him.
and that's where I think, and what is he in? Like a
He,
box?
he, he's still in the same box that the crematory.
Yeah, I mean, it would be better to stick him in a Tupperware bowl than that, right?
It's
I
a
mean, I'm not
lot. It's a
I'm not
lot of ashes, PG.
Oh, I know. I absolutely know, all about cremation, and I understand how big that damn box is and everything, but and how many ashes there could be, it's like they might have gave you a couple of people instead of one, right?
Exactly.
Um, but I think that um, if I was going to bring someone home, somebody's ashes home with me, first thing I would do is, buy like big a big vase or something. Um, you know, a lot of places sell them. You know, it's just got a lid on it, like a dome on top of it. It's like a big giant vase with a lid, and basically, you know, I would have had them dumped in that, or dumped. If you have to do it yourself, you got to do what you got to do. Dump them in that, and you know, and 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 basically put the lid on it, and I would definitely stick them. you know, somewhere that, I wouldn't put them in a bathroom. I mean, I couldn't use the bathroom if they were in there. It's like you can't go out. I'd be setting it outside the door, use the bathroom, then put them back in. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, you can't watch me use the bathroom. You can't watch me take a bath. This is crazy. You know? I mean, I'd be like staring at that fucking box all the time, all crazy looking. Even if they was in a vase, I'd be looking at it, seeing if their face is coming through or something, like coming out and going back in. I don't know. I'd be like, that's freaky, but and then again, knowing PT, I might get a couple eyeballs and stick on it, right?
Oh Lord.
They'd be like, "What's in there?" I'd be like,
Now I do have a boat sitting on top of the box with a lure and a hook and a necklace that has a R on it, because my son, the only tattoo he really had was my name on his arm, upper arm. So, and when he passed, I kept finding pennies. So I had tons of pennies and I just kept taking them to the lake where he drowned and throwing them in there.
"Oh, girl, I would have put those in a jar. I would have put those in a jar and kept them. Um, pennies are from heaven. I'd
Yeah,
have
I
put them.
got that. I got
I would
that.
have put them in a jar, and kept those um as I found them. Absolutely. I mean, now something like that, PG is kind of sentimental. Um, when my dad passed away, I constantly was finding change money around, and yeah, I kept it, um, but my dad was, we believe in, we believe in funerals, the coffin, the 6 foot hole, everybody pray, keep you up for 3 days, pray over you, put you in the ground. Um, you know, because we want God to find you. When God comes, you want to be in one piece, right? And I mean, that's what I'm thinking. But
I'm not gonna bury his ashes. I want him with me. He
right.
already, I mean, it's just
Well,
his
I'm
ashes.
not saying, I'm not, you don't have to put them all in there. I mean, as I said, whether you have all of his ashes or
I
a
don't.
handful, you still have him, right?
Right.
I mean, if you have all or just a handful, girl, he's still with you. So, I'm saying what I'm saying is when you're gone, when you're gone, you know, I don't know I mean, what I'm saying is at some point, people ain't going to be packing around his ashes no more. Then they're going to do something with them. And it may not be what you want, right? Right now, you have an opportunity to do what you want with them and just keep enough in a necklace or something so it can be put in a coffin with you, right?
I'm gonna be cremated too.
If you're being cremated, then they could be cremated along with you and put wherever you're put. You know, that's what it
my
is.
son, my son's bathroom.
Um, I don't believe in cremation because if you ever I don't know if anyone has ever seen a cremation, but trigger warning on this one. But if you go where they do cremations and you ever watch one, you won't want one. When they put when the body slides in, they slide it down through there, and then it like lifts and slides into the fire, right? And when they put them in, slide them in, and that thing goes up, and they go into the furnace, the fire. There's a pan that they'll pull out with those ashes on it, and then they, everything don't burn. I want people to know that now. I mean, there's bones and stuff that get picked out as well. The bones don't disintegrate like people think.
Right.
So basically, but when they put them in there to burn them, I promise you, it looks like they stood up and walked for a minute. It's like the fire brought them back to life for a minute. And it's scary as fuck to see. So I don't know. I don't know if it brings them back to life for a minute or not, but if it did, whoa. You know what I'm saying? It sure looked like it. So, I mean, that's the truth. If anybody's got a corner as a husband or uncle or anything, and you've ever watched it, you'll know what I'm talking about. I I like the yeah, I am exactly right, Robin? Yeah, it's scary. And if you ever watched it, you'll buy coffins and make sure that you would be planning ahead for your plot and everything, right? Make sure that shit didn't happen to you. Yeah, they don't tell you that. No, they're not going to tell you this happens, because then people would get cremated, right? Yeah, and that's another thing. Before they cremate you, they take like a they take like a they take like one of those mallets. It's like a big mallet, and they crush up all the bones. They break all your bones before they put you in there as well, right? I mean, they beat the hell out of you.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, you know. When you there's a lot that goes on that people just don't know, right? It's crazy.
Wow.
I mean, people say, "Oh well, they cut the muscle in the back of dead people to keep them from setting up during the funeral." But when you rather have a muscle cut in your back than your bones crushed up and before you go into the fire and yeah, and then you raise up and you might even be alive for a few minutes before you're gone again. I don't know. I mean, that's some crazy stuff right there.
Yeah, you're creeping me out now.
But
I mean, my daughter, she was put down in a casket by her grandma,
absolutely
her dad's mother. She gave her
right.
a plot and one of her own family's plot, and they put her down in the ground.
Amen. And that was really, really, really kind. And I know funerals cost a little bit of money, but it's the
I mean,
best way.
I didn't pay for anything with my son, and I didn't pay for anything with my daughter neither. But I'm just saying.
Wendy said, "Hey PG, I'm having a bonfire in my garden." Yeah, we're talking about bonfire too. Only you don't stick marshmallows in it, right?
Oh Lord. So y'all heard Candace is on the hill now, right?
Um, she's been up there. I think knocking the dust off of everything, and but is she staying there? I don't think so. Matter of fact, I heard that it's possible they got another address they'll be at um, when they come out. So I don't know. Um, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure Donald's going to go back up on Ben Hill Road. Um,
No, he's
when he
not in a Tupperware bowl. He's in the box that he's still in the box that the crematory place gave me. He's not in any Tupperware. He's in a box.
he has to wear boots. Oh, cute.
Candace is at home, but you can bet she's not cleaning. Well, why should she? She wasn't doing that before.
Um, yeah, Candace has been up back. She's in Tennessee for
She's
sure.
she's been in
She
tennis.
No, she was over in Georgia for a long time, and about the last couple weeks, she's been back in Tennessee, and diligently making sure that she keeps tries to get Donald back under her thumb because or else you. Bottom line is, if Don came out and got with somebody else, they'd probably get out of him that what she did to Summer, and then she would be in prison, right?
PG,
So
you know Don wants Candace anyways. Them two are made. They're made for each other.
right, absolutely.
They're gonna be happy because they'll be together with their happy life with no kids.
Well, they sure was before he went into jail, right? They they sure was before he went in. So yeah, I'm suspecting. Well, I think they know they're not going to ever get them kids back, right? Absolutely not. I mean, the law knows. I mean, Candace is number one suspect in what happened to Summer. So there's no way they can give the boys back to her when she's number one suspect on law enforcement's list. Hell no. And they ain't been cooperating with law enforcement. She's not getting those boys back. She knows it. So she might as well get back with Donald, and because who else is going to have them? Who else is going to have them? I mean, those are two peas that need to be in the same pot, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anybody. I don't know no one that would want Donald, and I don't know any fucking body that wants Candace. I mean, what? Who wants to be with somebody that's constantly, you know, that's constantly if they sticking it in their arm, they're sticking it up their nose or at their ass or something, right? Nobody wants to be with someone, that wants to stay, zoned out of their mind all the time and act retarded. Nobody wants to walk around with somebody that isn't, that their body's in the world, but their freaking mind is gone, right? Nobody wants to put up with that shit. Nobody wants to be sitting around someone that's always zoned out, um, and taking up all the damn money and everything else to get that way. That's disgusting. And
Yeah,
and that's just who him and Candace are. So I think they're, you know, I mean,
a
what
lot
I'm
of people
saying is I think the ugliness from the inside's done creep into the outside for all of us to view and understand
that come
what I'm
in my
trying to
group,
say.
well, not everyone, just a few that I've had to get on to talking about. Well, I'm glad Candace is back home because she's a human being and she's a good person. I said, what did you just say? What? Then she said she's
Absolutely.
been going to rehab, and I said, "What? Go away,
Right.
go away."
Yeah, she's not ever getting them boys back. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And you do know about the petition that's on Facebook, right? To have Ronnie Lawson investigated.
Huh?
You do know about the petition that's on Facebook.
I'm trying to get Ronnie Lawson to step back, step down.
Um, to have him investigated.
Well, why do you want to get him investigated?
Well, I guess because of what his son did. But I heard too. You
That's
know
you
how
know
you hear things and
that's like your
yeah,
kid. That's like your kid. That would be like your child putting a bag of M&Ms in his pocket and them checking your purse to see if they're in there. That's that's kind of crazy, right? I mean, you're not responsible for your children's
grown
sins,
son, right?
and and they're not responsible for your sins as well. Um, you know, even your children. If your child decides, say your child's at school, you teach it better than to ever lie, right? But if it's at school and it told a lie, that ain't on you. It's on that child because that child knew better than to be lying, right? I mean, they call me in to the school, say, "Hey, your child told a lie." Um, well, that's not a reflection on me because I have taught my children to not lie, that lying is wrong. And I don't understand why my child lied, but and that's for my child to explain, not me, right? I mean, that's, even no matter how old your child is, um, you know, if they do bad things, that's not on the parent. I know a lot of people like to look at the parents and blame the parents, but it's not. We all are born with our own mind, bodies, and souls. We all have, from birth choice to laugh or cry,
Hmm.
to eat or not eat. We all have the choice. We have, it's choice, everyday choices, right? And people make their own choices, like some kids love the bath, right? They're regular little duckies and love to stay clean. And there's other kids that that hate water and they're just like a little mud bath all the time, right?
Hmm.
um it's but it's their choice. I mean, you can't say, oh, that's the parents' choice. No. No, because the parents are the ones throwing them in there, fighting them to get them clean, right? Trying to get them to like water, trying to get, and even parents don't understand sometimes why their kids make the choices they do, right? Like, you have some kids that'll sit at the table and eat that spinach, and where most kids are like, oh, that spinach gonna still be on the plate when they're done, right? And you might think, why does this kid eat spinach? Because all kids hate it, but it's his choice, it's entitled to its choices.
Hmm.
What I'm saying, it's entitled to its choices. The most we can do is let humans know, our children, throughout their life. We can do is let them know where these choices lead, whether they be good or bad, right? I mean, that's what you do. You say, hey, You can lie if you want to, but where does it lead you? It leads you into more lies. It leads you into trouble. It leads you into people not liking you. Then it leads you into, you know, hating everybody because why? You started it. You were the one that initiated with your lies to try to get people to like you. They found out you was lying and now they don't like you anymore. And you have no one to blame but yourself, right? That is the consequences of what you do in life. Now, if you would have, you know, listened to the old rule, you don't have to lie to kick it, and you would have told the truth all the time. And, because people are interested just as much in the truth as they are lies, right? You don't have to lie. They're just as much interested. If they like you, then they're still interested in what you got to say. And if you're always telling the truth, then people have respect for you. They always like you. They even defend you, right? Because they know you're a truth teller and a truth seeker. And, so you pick the course of your life. You can only tell people how to go. You can't make them go. You can't make them make the right. If we can make people make the right choices, this world would be beautiful, right? But we can't. So that's what I'm trying to say. Just like, Leilani, nobody, you know, Leilani decided, long ago to be who Leilani is today, right? Selfish, self seeking, drug taking, alcohol drinking, um, out of control, don't give a fuck about nothing or nobody but herself, human being, right? And a violent one at that. A violent one at that. So violent that, her child now is no longer, from what law enforcement is saying, with us. They're out there checking.
Someone in your chat said a dog hit on his scent in the landfill. Is that true?
I cannot verify that because I have not heard that at all. Have I heard that? I have searched for that everywhere and cannot find it. What they did hit on was a ping from her phone where these trash cans were, and they did massively find something at the house leading them to 100% believe that Quentin is no longer with us. So those are truthful things that I'm telling you. I refuse to, tell what I cannot find proof of, and I have not found proof of that yet. So, all I can do is tell what I know, and that's what I know. They was searching for him. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. Here is the let me get this down so everyone's able to see. They are out here and have been searching for little Quinton endlessly while the mom's partying and having a good time, and grandma's right there with her on, shaking the old bringing the milkshakes to the yard. They're out here bringing the milkshake to the landfill, right? And here's this is what they've been doing. And as you can see, they have massively been doing some fucking work here, right? Because they've got all of this into 2 pals now. I mean, you can only imagine how this shit was before they got out there and got it as straightened up as they do right now. But look how many law enforcement is out there, and and you believe it or not, most of these are the FBI agents from all over America that came in there to get this job done. What you're seeing out here in these hazmat suits are a whole lot of these men, and they're coming in so many at a time. They're doing shifts. This many will come in and work for so long and then the other ones will come in and work for so long.
Now,
They are changing up shifts to get this done. They're busting their asses. And you
they,
have this mom and mother
they are still doing it.
partying. Oh yeah. Yeah, girl. They're out there. They are
I
out
saw
there.
I
They
saw
were out there
bullhorns
today. They were out there
out there.
today. They will be out there, and they will be out there every day going through this until they find Quentin. Absolutely. And they are not taking the weekend off like people said they were going to. No, they're
Okay,
not.
my question was, when I first came in, my question was, how do you know that Quentin is in the landfill? And someone said a dog hit on his scent.
No, no.
Mm, damn. Imagine all the garbage they got to go through.
There is over 20 some people right here going through this garbage. They are sitting there with these bags sifting through all of this trash. What they do is they lay out a big blue, like that big blue tarp, and then they get this garbage and they lay on it, go through it, and then they put it aside and they put more on it. They go through it, put it aside, they more on it. I mean, this is going to be one hell of a job to find this baby.
And that's
One
sad.
hell of a job. And I'm going to let you know
Mm.
once they find him, and I'm pretty sure they will. Once they find him and they prosecute her, she's going to get smacked with the hardest and fullest sentencing known to law, right? They're not going to have no mercy on her now. Absolutely not, when especially when they have to see this, right? Especially when they had to see this.
What is that?
This is her out eating and drinking and partying with mommy. Yep,
Same,
they're out,
same.
the agents are
Mm.
ending their first day of searching for Quentin in the dump. His mom and grandmother were taking shots and drinking at a popular the tiki little island bar out there, right?
Sounds
So
like Casey Anthony.
absolutely, and right there is Leilani partying down at the bar. Here she is, partying it up with Mama.
Now,
And
don't she have an infant too?
have a what?
Doesn't she have an infant baby?
She
Or
has a newborn little girl. Yeah, but not newborn. It's 6 months old.
right, still an infant.
Yeah, she has a infant daughter, 3-year-old son left.
Hmm.
Why? What could a 20-month-old little baby do to cause you to do what she did to it? What could it do?
I don't know, man.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I'm
Right?
watching my newest granddaughter, grow up, and she's so advanced that I can't imagine. I mean, I can imagine because I've been through it, but I don't know how a mother can do something like this to their own blood.
Absolutely. I don't either. I mean, I don't want to know. I really don't want to know, to be honest with you. I thank God I don't.
I'd be curious to see her in the courtroom explain herself. I would want to hear what she got to say.
Oh, I think we're going to get to do that. for sure, right? There are gonna be so many news reporters in there. I don't think there'll be standing room for all of them, right? But there's her mama on a motorcycle. I mean, acting like not shit has ever happened, right? But this is what they're doing. Well, these guys are doing this, right? I mean, I would want to be out there with them if I was the grandmother, right? I would be fighting to be there with them.
Hell yeah.
I'd want to help. I would have to help. I would need to help. I don't think I could take it. I would have a need to know if indeed I really had a child that fucking evil, right? To kill a child. That is,
Look at
look
him.
at him. Look how beautiful. Look at that. Just look at what she destroyed. How anyone could ever destroy that baby, I don't know.
Not even 2 years old.
Not even two. Not even 2 years old. And, you know, its life hadn't even got started. She ended it, right?
So where are her other kids?
And I truly believe that too, Wisconsin Mama. They will find him. They are determined, more determined than Hawkins County. Amen. I'm going to tell you what, they came. I got to say one thing for this law enforcement. I got to say one thing for them. God bless. They are led by God, right? They came in and they treated that just like a criminal case from the beginning. They didn't come in there saying, oh, let's tear up the crime scene and start looking around and searching all over the place. Let's get 50,000 people in here and screw it all up, right? No. They said, let's freaking rope this shit off, minimize who's going in and who ain't, and we are going to freaking find out exactly what happened to this baby because we're starting right here, right fucking now, right? That's what they said. When we have, enough to know that it didn't take place right here with these people, then we will branch out. And if they would have done that with every missing child's case, a lot more of these people would have been busted at the beginning. A lot more answers would have been gotten right from the beginning. And it would have saved the taxpayers a lot of money way down the road, right? But they don't do that. Like the West case, right? And Serenity's case in Kentucky ran for just too long, right? What I'm saying is they need to start doing things right from the beginning and stop going in there like it's some big Amber Alert, because most of the time it's not. Like 99.9% of the time it's not. What is somebody going to say? Oh, I just did in my kid, right? They're going to say that. They're not going to say that. Really? They're going to say anything and everything but that. It was out on a bicycle and disappeared. You know? Or somebody came in and I turned around and it's gone. Or I just ran in the house for a second and it was gone. I'm not doubting that sometimes that does happen, but most of the time it don't, right? Most of the time it don't. And, and then they mess up the crime scene, they drop the ball. A lot of times the people get away with it, or else it's way down the road when they find the body, they go back and able to, prosecute. And now we waste a whole lot of more money on that, right? When that shit could have been taken care of from day one by just treating it as a crime scene, getting all the evidence together, and prosecuting the shit out of them, just like they're doing in Quentin's case right now. And it makes me sad that Summer's case was not treated and respected by law enforcement the same way Quentin's was. Oh, my sweet Norway. God bless you, sweetie. My dear friend and mentor, I love you. Summer, blue hearts for Quentin. Much love. Much, much love to you, sweetie. Absolutely. I am so glad to see you. So glad to see you. God bless. God bless, girl. Much, much love. Yes, so absolutely. Justice for Quentin Sunflower May. Absolutely. Yeah, that's beautiful. I am so grateful for the support. Yes, absolutely. I am so grateful for the support for this channel. Absolutely, positively grateful. Yeah, I love Sweet Norway. I get so excited when I see her. But yeah, unbelievable, right? Look how beautiful he was. He was just adorable, right? He was adorable. And what she did was, you know, unforgivable if you ask me. Yeah, they love to say the baby walked out of the house and they are 1 year old. There was a case, a 6-week-old just disappeared from a trailer home. The boyfriend buried it. Oh wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so, it is happening all the time, right? It's happening all the time. All the time. I was doing some research and everything after work today. I got dinner on the table and my kids fed up and putting away the dishes and everything. I am a freak. I have to, after I cook, I wash the pots and pans, and as soon as they're done eating, I got to get the dishes up. That's true. But during all this, I have, the tablet sitting up on the counter, and I'm going through this and I'm going through that and trying to do what I can, multitasking. And some reason, some of the research that I was looking at went into some other case and research. And anyway, it was about two boys, teenage boys. And what they did is it was one of the boys' great grandmother. And she really loved her grandson and they wanted to go see her. So she invited him into her home and their intentions was to rob and murder her. And they did. Her own grandson struck her first with that like a hammer, and then he ran off to the bathroom and his other friend with him, and these were children. These were two teenage boys, children. He ran off to the bathroom and his buddy finished the grandmother off, and they were getting sentenced. A heinous case, but it just goes to show you trust no one, right? I mean, this woman should have not opened the door for her own grandchild. I mean, what kind of world has we came to when we don't feel safe opening the door for our own children or grandchildren or great grandchildren? What kind of world has this became where you're not safe with your own? That's disgusting, right? Disgusting. And this woman, this poor lady had no idea what kind of monster this boy was. But it happens. Aw, Kayu says, I wish I could show you all the pictures of my grandson. He looks like Quentin. Oh, then he's beautiful. Your grandson is absolutely beautiful. Little Quentin is such a gorgeous little boy. Um, he captured my heart the first time I saw him. I thought how beautiful this baby is, just adorable. And how could someone do such a heinous, ugly thing to him, right? Especially his own mother. His own mother. She didn't know what a gift she had, right? She will when she's sitting in prison for life, right? Or maybe lethal injection. It depends on how she killed him. Determines what they're going to do with her, right? So she better really, really get the feel of that cushiony fucking hotel beds, right? She better get a cushiony ass feel of her hotel beds here. Hey, how you doing, UFC Frog? He says, hey now, what you say now? We say, what's up? God bless, much love. Amen. That's what we say. And he says, hello. How you doing tonight? UFC. He says, I'm the kiddos' nephews. I'm with the kiddos' nephews. He's with his nephews. They got you babysitting tonight? UFC Frog says, which kind of mama? What's up, mamas? That is hilarious. Anyway, yeah, this is where she's staying. Her and grandma was here. I guess they got it for $84 a night. And how you doing? How you doing, my sweet Norway?
Hey, my sweet sister. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, sweetie?
Yeah. I have not been feeling so good, but I listen to you always, but sometimes in the day because, it's the middle of the night. So I am happy to have you in my life, you and the family.
Oh, it
So,
looks cold where
yeah,
you're at.
yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, it looks
Norway.
cold.
It's around 0.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's cold, yes. Yeah. It made me so tired, the dialects. I am so tired. But Prayer Garden, I have to say, I am so happy you took this case. The Gabby Petito and the Kylie case. I don't want to say it didn't affect me because it's terrible. It did affect me so much. But this is different. This when a child is a itty bitty 20 month, when they are 20 months, they cannot even all the words, they cannot talk. I think the only thing they can do for themselves is to hold their bottles. They are so innocent, they are so small, and I think that is why, because they cannot defend themselves even if they want to.
Right.
This case
Mm-hmm.
so terrible, and this and summer case is the worst I ever have, because the small life Quinton was living for 20 months, he was beat upon. His mother didn't like him. She didn't bond with him, and it's just terrible. And but that's one thing. And in summer case, it made me so distraught and depressed. I I cannot even talk about Ronnie Larson. because I never used the word hate, but I almost start to hate him. He don't hold any press conference for summer. He don't even care about summer. I am not afraid to say, because he have a pedo in his home, in his son, and we don't know what Ronnie Larson have done, because sometimes sons do the same thing. I am so disturbed, Prayer Garden, of Hawkins County. I am terrified. Um,
Right.
this place is something like from Jehannam in the Bible. Jehannam. It must be here. Because when they come to Quinton's home, they pick the house from each other. The grandmother was worried about the pool. The grandmother is not right here. They picked the house pieces by pieces and checked the house. They did a good job. And I know many people are angry at the law enforcement. I am not. They got one shot. We don't want a new Casey Anthony because they took her too fast. We all know Leilani did it, and they know, but they only got one shot. And all the screaming. Okay, I understand people scream. I understand they're angry, but there are neighbors, there are children, there are old people, and this is so terrible. 20 months years old, and also the grandmother who is have left the child there. You know, I was thinking, because her mouth was so big when she went to the babysitter, it was like a trash can, you know. But then she can kiss and party with her daughter. There is something much wrong with Billie Joe too.
Right. Right. That's the one thing. Um, you're right, because you see all of these similarities in the humans that commit these kind of heinous crimes. You see the lies that they tell at the beginning. You see the non-caring, no tears, no hurt, no pain in their face, posture, or any other way. It's like they, like they're just a shell, an empty fucking dark shell of a human being, right?
Yeah.
Inside of them and outside. And and they all seem to be so selfish that they can't even you know pretend to mourn. They can't even pretend. They're so fucking heartless.
Amen.
They can't even put on a good show of fucking mourning for a little while, right? They're right back to their. I mean, they didn't ever stop being who the fuck they are, right? Drinking like Candace.
Exactly.
First day on the phone with Allie that night, drinking and just non-caring and self-centered, self-seeking as hell, right?
In the beginning, you and me a little bit like the grandmother because we think she was fair.
Mm-hmm.
The words, she was fair. She was talking the truth about her daughter, but of course the daughter don't remember. They want to use the insanity card.
Oh
But
yeah.
if I, as a mother, have brought two murderers to my child, two children is murder now of Billy Joe's kid, but it has to be. I think there will be something for Billy Joe too, because she wasn't supposed to leave that children. First, she take it away from. What do she want? Did she want drama? Did she want action? Why did she fight? Why did she go to court for Quinton and Sane? If she leave it back to Leilani, did she love the drama? Maybe, I don't know. She looks like she loved the drama and action.
Right.
Fight
Yeah.
and be crazy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's
Mm-hmm.
kissing up on the daughter. She loved the daughter. She's out drinking shots with the daughter. They are out drinking shots when the baby is on the field. That is why I am so livid. I can't even talk about it.
I
We all
think,
know what the trash can do. We all know
yeah,
what it do to things.
yes,
I
it
am
is.
so scared they will not find nothing.
Oh, I think they will.
I hope.
Um, you know, I know God's had his hand in this case from day one.
I
And
hope.
that's a big blessing right there. So, we got to just pray he keeps his hand in it,
Yeah,
and I think God's going to pull this one to the light real quick. And I'm thankful for that. I am absolutely thankful that this law enforcement is showing all other law enforcements how to get it done, right? How to get it done and get it done right.
yeah,
And I am thankful for that.
yeah,
Um but the similarities of these baby killers, that's what I'm going to do one day this week, is show everyone the similarities of these people. I mean, these similarities are like,
yeah,
I don't know how, I do not know how people cannot. What I'm saying is, we as humans need to spot these type of people. Now, I'm not saying that there ain't some that you ain't going to be able to spot. I mean, there is some very canty, fucking cruel people in the world, and they perfectly good at hiding it.
yeah,
But for the most part, I find that the majority, 99.9%, all show similarities in
yeah.
their actions.
That's
And
true.
and that's what we have to learn to spot and get these children help. When we got to know it when we see it. That's what I'm saying. We got to know it when
Yeah,
we see it.
but prayer
And
garden, don't you agree? We have to start with the child protective services. There
yes, we
has to be
do.
something done.
Yes, we
There is
do.
something totally wrong. I
Yes, we
don't
do.
know how it can
Be-
continue. They are killing the children of America, of the future. What is happening? And you know what? Why I say Gabby Petito and everybody, I love all the cases, but this is children who cannot even defend themselves, even if they want. And the small life Summer and Quinton was living,
mhm.
they was beat on, they was not loved. It was the same scenario, drugs and alcohol. It was the grandmother. It's so much similar. And the
Right.
poor baby in the garbage. And when the baby, oh my God, is in the garbage, they are going out to drink. I cannot, I am cold to the, oh my God, I cannot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I tell you another thing. Um when they get prosecuted, this will be remembered. I mean, do you think that in the courtroom these pictures are not going to be popping up of what them two was doing? Absolutely. Well, law enforcement was out there doing what they was doing.
Yeah,
Absolutely. They will bring that. The prosecutors will have big fucking movie slides popping
yeah,
up all of this.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And when those jurors see it, they're going to be just like we are now, right? How
yeah,
dare you? How you're heartless, right? You're a heartless bitch.
yes,
And they will agree for her to get the maximum instead of the minimum, right? Because there's no sorriness there,
nothing,
no pity there,
nothing.
no mercy there. And there won't be no mercy because this girl ain't showing no mercy for her little
No,
boy, right? She's not showing any. So it is going to be bad at the end of all of this.
yeah,
Um, and there was a little boy, Levi, death in Tennessee. I don't know how widespread it was, but in 2013,
yeah,
uh, the little guy the little guy, he was born in 2013,
Yeah.
around January. Well, around November of 2013, he was taken to the hospital, um, with his spine. His spine had been, fractured pretty
Oh my.
good,
Oh my God.
and they took him away. Child Protective Services stepped in. They took him away for a while and handed him back
Back.
and back to the parents in 2013 of November. Um, they he was severely abused. Um, his injuries were, let me see here. His injuries, the autopsy showed he had multiple blunt force injuries, including contusions, abrasions, lacerations, and his spine seriously fractured,
Oh my.
over this time period. And as of June the 1st of 2014, is when all of his pain ended and the Lord took him home
Is it true? This
from
is
all of this
Tennessee.
abuse. And this little baby was 10 months old when they
Oh
destroyed
God.
his spine. Now, what does a 10-month-old baby do to deserve to have their spine severely fractured? Beaten so bad it fractures their spine like that.
And they
What did
give
this
them back.
baby? Yeah, they
They can
did.
be some more on it. Oh my God. The world is coming. There is something so much wrong with the child protector. They have to do something about it. They would, if you do that to a child, you should never have it back.
He was 17 months old when he died. 17
Oh,
months old when he died.
and
And
all he knew was to be beat on.
he was severely
Uh,
abused by the
what
mother and her boyfriend.
is I am so tired of people playing the crazy card. We have to understand there is pure evil in this world. There is.
Oh
I don't
yes,
believe. I am
absolutely.
so shit tired of. I don't remember. I was sick. I was sick. And everybody now is it very popular with this. When you get pregnant, you get depression. Okay, I also have 3 girls. I was single, not when I have them, but I also have a little depression. But I didn't want to kill my child. I am
Yeah,
tired of this.
that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to tell you, they holler postpartum depression.
Yes, that.
You
Amen.
know, I call bullshit. I
I
call
come with.
bullshit. Let me tell you something. Um, you didn't have postpartum depression. What you had was either one, you really just wasn't looking forward to having another child, and a lot of issues with, now I ain't gonna be able to do my job, or what you had was a lot of self-centered thoughts that the child probably was going to get in the way of, and and call it what you want. I call it selfishness, because if you really want that baby and you really love that baby, then you know what? You ain't got the headset on your head, um doing the two-step through the house. You got that headset on your belly doing the two-step through the house. You are wanting and basically looking forward to making, to being the parent, and praying, you know, not for a girl or boy, but you're praying for your child to be healthy and smart. You're excited that you're going to have this little person in your life and in your world. that you know that you're going to love and it's going to always love you. When you have a child and they put it in your arms, they stick it in your arms, that's when you realize, you know, what forever is, right? What real love, unconditional, forever love is when they hand that child and put it in your arms for the first time. And you know, that's your baby. Now, you know, I got to tell something to selfish and self seeking parents like Leilani. Bitch, I am a self seeking, self centered bitch too. Because when they laid that baby in my arms, that was my fucking baby. Mine.
It's so
Nobody else's in the world. It belonged to me. God gave that gift to me. And you know what? You're damn skippy. I was selfish. I was
yeah.
told myself I'm going to look over this baby for the rest of his life, and anyone or anybody ever looks at
Don't
it
you
cross-sided,
remember
they shall stay that way, right?
when they were small, we didn't want to sleep. We were putting them on our stomach, and we was watching is they breathing or not.
Mm-hmm.
We were so like, animal protect their children better.
Amen.
It
Amen.
should free
And you
children. Animal is very good with the children.
and
She
let me
gets
tell you, you had that diaper ready. You had that bottle ready and that diaper. You knew
yeah,
exactly
yeah,
what time they was going to wake up, exactly everything they
yes.
needed. I mean, no one had to tell you what your baby needed because you knew, right?
But you can smell it.
You knew.
Oh my God.
And I tell you, that mother, Leilani, you know, she was a whole different type of selfish, self-seeking human being.
I want to say you something, Paragon. I don't want to talk about me, but I have to say you something. I listen many people say, yeah, Billy Joe didn't teach her right because she was a hoe. We call her spade a spade. She was a hoe, Billy Joe. But and she was a thief, a big hoe. And
I ain't gonna argue with that. I'm not gonna
eh,
argue with that at all.
they say, oh, poor, the mother was a hoe, Billy Joe, and now no, the daughter is crazy. You know what? I don't want even to mention what my mother was. She gave me away, okay? This is not an excuse. You know what that did to me? I always say I will never be like my mother.
Amen.
That is
Amen.
the normal way to go. And I will never, and even if my child has special need and she came, from the way when I was 13 with the father, I
Exactly.
always protected her. She lived in my home till she was 28 of years because it was long waiting list for this special home. And I loved her. I was so tired, 28 years. But I always say I don't want to be the same. That is also make me angry, Prayer Garden. What do you think about that excuse? The mother was a hoe, so Leilani have to do this. I hate it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, Billy Joe, Billy Joe. In this case, it is like mother, like daughter. Now,
Yeah, it is.
I don't. You know, a lot of times, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've seen a lot of really good women have some horrible, nasty daughters. I couldn't understand why their daughters turn out like they
Amen.
did with that beautiful mother they had who really
Yeah.
tried her best to
Yes.
do righteous with them. That is true. And in those cases, it ain't like mother like daughter. But in this
No.
case, it is.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly honest with you, Leilani's mother did not raise her up till she was 9 years old. Her
No.
aunt did. Her
And
aunt
yeah.
raised
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
up until she was 9. Leilani did not have a hard life at all. She was always pampered, looked over, and given to
Hmm.
because everybody always had pity parties for her. due
Yeah.
to the fact that she did not have a good mom, a mom
Yeah.
in jail, a mom in trouble, a mom the way her mom was. So Leilani did not have a bad life. She had a good life. She was spoiled, and I think what it was is they gave her so much attention that she could not ever focus on anyone, and she was used to getting that attention,
Yeah.
and she was an attention seeker, and
Yes.
therefore could not give her attention to anyone else because she was busy, too busy, always trying to get attention instead of giving some damn attention to
Yeah.
like her children. And
Yeah.
that was this girl's biggest problem in life. And that's the way she still is right now. And her
Yeah.
mother is still, giving her attention and rewarding her for evilness, right?
Yeah.
I mean, mommy has already lawyered her daughter up, moved her to a hotel, paying for her to be out of the way, which they found out where she is, and now they've been kicked out of the hotel. But, what I'm saying is, her mother is still aiding and abetting
Mm.
the bullshit. And her mom's doing that because her mom was no better, was no better throughout life, and she
I
still
don't
isn't
think the
any
mother
better
loved.
now.
I cannot believe she loved Quentin, Billy Joe. I think maybe a little bit she loved him, but not full, not the fully, the love, the smell, the feeling, the touch. No, I will refuse to believe that of Billy Joe because,
Leilani and Billy Joe are more like little friends than they
yeah,
are mom and
yeah,
daughter. They're more like friends. Now, I'm
yeah,
not saying it ain't okay to be friends with your children. I'm not saying that. Of course, your children should be your best friend, little friends, right? They should be your best little friends. But you also have to understand that, you're their parent. I love my kids. I absolutely adore my children. And I'm sure they love PG. But
yeah,
let me tell you something. I am their mother. I am the one that's supposed to be looking over them. They're not supposed to be looking over me. I'm to look over them. And that little friendship thing, sure, you laugh with your kids, you talk with your kids, you mess around, play with them. I love gaming. That's the one thing I got, that I actually have in common with my kids is I do love gaming. And
yeah,
and no, do I let them win? No, I fight to win. And because I want my kids to know, I want my children to know. When they were little, I used to let them win. When they were like
yeah. Of course. I
4,
remember. I
5,
also,
6, 7, yeah. But my kids are getting a little older.
yeah, yeah,
They're getting a little older now, and no, I don't let them win because I want them to know that it's a
yeah.
game. It's a game, and no matter
It's
who wins, there is just as much honor in losing as there is winning.
so true.
Just as much honor in losing as winning is. It's not whether you win or lose. It was just about being together, playing the
Yeah,
game for the fun of it, and laughing at the end of it, no matter who wins, right? And I get beat a lot of times. I get.
that is a
I
good
got my kids are
bonding.
pretty good at gaming too. And
Yeah,
sometimes I get my ass whooped.
yeah, yeah,
And it's okay. It is
yeah. It's okay.
absolutely okay. I think it's hilarious. And and I think it's awesome that they strive harder to be able to beat me, right? And that's the way life is. You got to strive hard in this world to get
Yeah,
what you want, right?
yeah,
To get
yeah,
and people in this world are not going to let you win. You got to work for that win, right? Well, that's the way you gotta raise your kids. You can't
it's
always
me.
coddle them, and because, If you always are letting them win, then they're going to think that society should let them win. And no,
Ex-
society don't owe them nothing. They got to fight to make it in this world on their own.
exactly. But you know what?
And that friendship is severed. That friendship is severed when your kid messes up and does something it ain't supposed to do, because you are the parent and you've got to
Yeah,
step in and say,
you have to.
hey, what you've done is unacceptable. Hopefully it ain't what Leilani's did. But
Oh,
there's repercussions to everything that people do, right?
but she
And
killed a child. This
yes, she
is
did. Yes, she
how
did.
be, and she put it in the garbage. It's too
Yes,
hard
she
to even.
did.
And we all know what happened in there when they put press it together. But you know what scares me, Prayer Garden? The crime community have been so dirty. It's changing. It's so much hate. It's so much fighting. And what I mean by that, many witnesses will now be afraid to come forward because look at
Absolutely.
the babysitter. I love her. She came forward because she loved Quinton. She wanted to teach us about Quinton. And what did Cher do? Do you know what Cher said? Cher said, voices behind the wall. I believe the babysitter was beating on Quinton. And she took all her police report. What have the babysitter report, what she have done 20 years ago with this case to do? Nothing. But they love the drama. They are forgetting Quinton
Yeah,
because
but
they.
see, yeah, but see what Cher did, what Cher done was for click likes and views, because that's who and what Cher is, right?
I don't want to be unfair, but she have 4 children that she moved away from. They are living in America, two with the father, two are young. And first of all, if I haven't seen my children for many years, I would never have talked about other children. I am sorry, but that is what I feel.
Well, you know, sh- some of us do this because for the
Everybody has a
children. Some of us do this for the children, for the children, not
yeah,
for anything else. We do it for these children because we love them, and the voiceless need a voice. But there's
yeah,
some that do it for the money,
yeah,
click likes and
yeah,
views and all the things. And you know, you just got to know the sheep from the goat, right? And
yeah,
the point is it don't take me long to figure who is the sheeps and who's the goats, and out here in the YouTube world when it comes to these children and their cases. But
yeah,
as for the babysitter, for one, if Cher's going to run her mouth, and you're going to then do your research. Do your research and find out if indeed this woman was, you know, she had an assault charge. Okay, on what? On what? A grown ass man, a
yeah,
woman, a child. You do your research, right? Because I'm going to tell you why. You have a lot of husbands or boyfriends that will beat the living hell up
yeah,
out of these women, and
yeah,
beat them and beat them, and these women do not they do not seek help. They're afraid, and then one day they stumble upon a girlfriend or an aunt or a cousin or somebody that says, girl, you need to stand up, you need to fight back for
yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
this or that. So they do, like this particular babysitter did, and then that cocksucker puts
of
goes and
course.
files charges, assault charges. When the police get there, he files assault charges, right? On something
Exactly.
that she should have did and didn't, out of fear so many times, and he did,
You are
to
so
try to
clever.
destroy her life, the rest of her life, because this is what people do,
Yeah,
abusers do. And he wanted to get her record before he got one, right?
yeah.
And but Cher didn't do her homework, and she didn't do
You are
her
so
research,
clever.
and she
But
just
with
put something
everybody,
out there to But then again, when is Cher not for the
When
devil
can
instead of Jesus?
I
That's what I'm
know,
trying to say.
I know, but how can she say, I think the babysitter was beating on Quinton? You know what? We are losing witness. Nobody want to come forward. People are,
Well, what you don't understand, sweet Norway, is Cher had, somehow got a hold of Billy Joe and thought that she's going to get Billy Joe in her pocket like she did Don
yeah,
Wells. And she
did with
turned on, the babysitter and other people to try to keep the contact there for the click like and it didn't work with Billy Joe because Billy
no,
Joe, she ain't going to do that, right?
no,
And so basically, what Cher did, the babysitter came out, explained, the assault charge and
yeah,
why she had that assault charge because she was being abused and was tired of getting abused, and and cleared it up. And she's a full blown go to church Christian. It was a person from her church that actually knew Billy Joe and asked her to babysit Billy Joe's kids,
yeah,
and she did. And none of her children, she hasn't
almost
ever once been in trouble with Child Protective Services for
no,
any
never.
reason. She watches a lot of kids, has kids, and even grandkids, right? This
She
woman's
have the
a good woman. She was the first one out here to let all of us know what was going on in that
yeah,
situation. She had called
it's a
CPS
beautiful.
multiple times herself, trying to get these children help. And and if Cher would have indeed had the babysitter got a hold, it was talking with that, she would have been putting Billy Joe down, which would have deserved it, right? But it's whoever Cher gets in her pocket, and she
Yeah,
tries. I mean, this
yeah,
woman would protect the devil, and we know that because why? She
yeah. She
protected Don Wells,
did
right?
with Don. Yeah,
She
I think she
protected
liked.
him.
She liked Don very well, much, and you were always a threat for Cher. When she have Don in her pocket, she never liked you because she see you as a threat, because she knew that Don will talk to you about everything.
Oh, he did. And
Yeah, I
and
know,
he did not like her whatsoever.
I
And he
know.
told me, exactly, he
But
did to
he
her,
said
he did.
that he wanted
Let me
her.
tell you something about Don and Candace Wells. I got to give them props. I do. I give them props because Don and Candace Wells, they pull people in to destroy them. I watched
Yeah,
them do it to many people. Cher,
yeah,
for one, meltdown. Did she have a big ass meltdown when Don dumped her like a hot potato? And and Benny Keys, meltdown. What you don't understand is the Wells try to suck humans in, and they tell me, "Watch sissy, watch sissy." And
yeah,
I mean, I just knew what they was going to do to these people. I did,
yeah,
and I even tried to warn
yeah,
some of them. I tried to warn some. They didn't want to listen to me. And hey,
yeah,
that's the most you could do, right? The most you could do is try. And because these people think that I understand their puffed up selves and how they think they're going to be able to handle it. I can handle that, sis. Don't worry about me. Well, then they have this big fucking meltdown because you know they didn't take heed. And the
Candace and Don
people.
was very good at what they was doing.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you, some of the people they melted down like that, I'm not gonna lie, I laughed my fucking ass off. Absolutely
Yeah,
laughed my, because these motherfuckers were so damn cruel, mean, and fucked up that you know what? I didn't care. I just sat back and watched and laughed. Yes, I did, because they deserved it. And
yeah,
because I watched them, the way they kissed the whales' asses, just like puckered up so hard, kept them from saying shit that could have found and got Summer um, justice in this world. And they didn't care a damn about Summer. What they cared about was having these bastards on their panel, just keep it going as long as they could for all they could get. And
Yeah.
they deserve exactly what they got, right?
Exactly.
They sure did. And something, there you go. And it is what it is,
That is.
it is what it is. But I do give Don and Kansas, I give them props. Them mother freakers can really they are mind fucks. Trust me, they are very damn good at it, skilled, I
Yeah.
would say. And and I don't care
And
how evil some of these YouTubers, I don't care how evil they think they are, or tough they are. Yeah, trust me, they're still they fucking are still needing to be weaned when it comes to Don and Candace, and that's the truth. That
prayer
is
garden,
the
what?
truth.
Yeah. What was you shocked when you heard about Larson's son?
Um, it didn't shock me. I mean, I wasn't shocked to find out that because to be honest with you, um, most of that community
Yeah.
are a bunch of pedos, right?
It's
Most of
terrible.
that community.
It's un-
I refuse to bring stuff out that I have not personally got into, and I mean, I do my research. I do my homework. I don't want people coming back and saying, no, 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 PG. That ain't who I am. I don't put out lies for click, likes, and views because that's not what our channel's about. Our channel is about these missing children because we love them,
you
right? We absolutely adore these babies, and
Yeah.
we know that they have every right to a resting place and
You are really
justice
doing
being
God's work.
served.
Thank you so much, prayer garden. I want you to kiss your children. I have to go.
Okay, sweetie.
I love you so much, prayer. It was so nice to talk with you again.
Oh, girl, it is so beautiful to see your beautiful face.
Yeah, you are
God bless
so
you.
sweet. I love you. Thank
I
you,
love
prayer
you
garden.
too. God bless
Kiss
you
your
and much
children.
love.
Yourself, prayer garden.
Oh,
Bye bye.
I would definitely hug and kiss them for you. And
Yeah,
many
and
hugs and kisses back to you, lady.
all that you give for me and the other people in the chat. You are really my mentor. Bye bye.
Bye bye, sweetie. Oh, Grizzle, I am so grateful. I got a $20 super sticker. God bless. God bless. Thank you. Thank you so much, Grizzle. I appreciate all the support for this channel. God bless. Um, UFC says bye, Norway. Much love. Aw, Ronald, Lisa. Everyone saying goodbye to sweet Norway. I love her so much. I love her coming up because aw, that is so sweet, Grizzle. I am wow. She says I love you, PG. I love you guys too. Absolutely do. I love it when she comes up, and so I know that she's okay. I'm bringing you up, UFC. How you doing tonight, sweetie?
Hey, I gotta quit. I gotta be up at work at 3, but I just want to clear it up. I didn't mean to come in your stream and then like put my thing out there and like you guys we're all entitled to our opinions. And
Hey, amen. This is America, hun. We absolutely are.
yeah, I just want to apologize for that. And like you guys, I speak the truth. I do have video. I did make a call today. I did call who I said I called. I did talk to who I said I talked to. I can play the video for you guys, but it only causes problems. It's my thing is that do we all agree on the she should be in jail. We all agree the mom should be in jail. We all should be the grandma should be in jail. But
Amen.
there's some things we can fix, and some things we cause more problems on by our actions. And
Right.
your actions always cause reactions. Remember that. Remember that,
Mhm.
guys. And
Ab-
and and when someone has nothing to do with the case and is explaining to you, let the police do the work. I think that's a time to stop cussing people out, yelling at people, and then after the whole thing, go, did you guys like that in your camera? That shows me it's for clicks and likes. It's not for what you guys think it is, because why would he ask you guys, do you like that? That's my whole thing. It's not for you guys. I thought it was for Quentin. That's where I'm coming from, and I stand by my statements of them drinking alcohol and stuff last night. Or if that's the case, they don't go to the wrong bar. They don't go to the wrong courthouse. It's just, you guys, it's getting to a point where law enforcement is tired of their actions. I promise you guys, if I play this phone call, you would understand. The lady on the phone had multiple calls on these people, and it's getting to a point where they're having to use resources to come out. If you look, they had 4 calls to that hotel today. 4 calls. That's resources for police. That, you know,
what we don't understand, UFC, is when law enforcement's busy coming out there for that kind of stuff, it's taking them away from people that really need them. Like what I'm saying is, if they're coming there to break up that, someone else in their home could be being robbed, and they have to wait, right, and scared, because no law enforcement, they don't have the availability to get the places that's really needed, because they're in places that they shouldn't be, and is on needed, right? It should be on needed.
That's where I'm at with that. And then you guys got to remember, they are looking for the body. They have every evidence. They have a lot of evidence against her. They're probably pounding up. They're probably following her around. But if Dolly and them are following her around, I didn't mean to say his name, but if people are following her around too, it's causing them to hinder their kind of investigation, because they're following her, watching every step she's doing. They're not letting this girl run away, guys. Let's be real. They're all over her. Look at the Kristen Smart case, though. It took them 28 years to charge Paul Flores for the murder without a body. Without the body, they have to have circumstantial evidence. They only get one shot at this. If they took her to jail right now for neglect, she can bail out and party. It doesn't make a difference if she goes to that.
And that is exactly what law enforcement is trying to tell us, is that I have one. This guy really, I mean, this particular law enforcement that's handling this, the main man, you could tell he cried over this case. I mean, this case has literally brought, from my understandings, some of the toughest men to tears. And I mean, this is a beautiful little boy, and they are hell bent. This particular law enforcement is hell bent in making sure that Quentin gets justice, and we should be respecting this. We should be respecting it, because we, as as people in true crime, and seeing how many cases, like look at Kylie, how they did her. I mean, they act like they want her to be found, and then when outsiders came in and found her, they got hated on, right? I mean, you could tell that this was, shady as hell. A lot of cover up, and they needed it to go a certain way to meet their agenda, right?
100%. Hey, let me answer Lisa real quick. Lisa, but Laundry had 100 people standing in front of his house recording him at all times, just like they're doing over there. You understand that? You're putting pressure on people. We don't know what's going through their minds. They had cameras in front of Laundry's house every day, and he slipped away.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
He absolutely
was
did.
it the pressure of the cameras? Was it the people there that were protesting, that were calling his family names all day, that he didn't want his mom and dad hurt no more? So, I mean, we don't know what's going through that man's mind, but we got to remember, man, that let it play out. If she ends up killing herself, there's no justice. And I mean, who knows what's going to happen, really? And don't get me wrong, the grandma, I'm against this 100%. I got charged when I was 18.
And not only that, but see, law enforcement knew exactly where she is, and now she has to relocate, right? I mean, I'm with you. That's the way to lose where the person is, instead of being able to know where the person is for LE. And that is exactly why they try to tell people, don't do this. Please don't be doing this. Because, they're trying to keep up with this person that, like now her, they knew exactly where Leilani was up until the hotel said, you got to leave. Now, I don't know if law enforcement anymore knows. I'm sure they probably do. But at some point, as UFC said, at some point, they may not. And now we got another, Brian case on our hands, right?
Exactly.
We don't want that.
Exactly.
We don't want that.
I got to go to work at 3 PG, so I'm gonna hop off. But I just want to say one more thing that anybody in this room that doesn't agree with my statements or my views, remember this is not PG's view, guys. Every one of us have our own opinions, and every one of us have a feeling in this case because a young son was killed, and we all have the
Absolutely.
right to those opinions. And at the end of the day, Dolly could be 100% right what he's doing in some people's minds. In some people's minds, he might not be. He might be going a little too far. But at the same
You
time, we're
know,
all in this case for the
being,
same reason.
I think being up there at the beginning of the case, when, you know, being up there at the beginning to let law enforcement know people are there and we're watching you and getting them, you know, off their asses and onto things, you know, from knowing that they're being watched is awesome. It's awesome because it is an initiative to get for the victim. It's an initiative for the victim to get the attention from law enforcement the victim needs. But once we know law enforcement's on it, we need to back off, right? And let law enforcement go from there. And see
100%. If they were in
what they're
Truckee doing what
doing.
they're doing, I'd back them up. That's a whole different story. It's
Amen.
already got past the point. But they're in Georgia. But hey, I got to go. I got to work at 3 in the morning. PG, I appreciate you. I love you. I want to stay with you. Trust
Get
me.
some rest,
I love
man.
every one of you guys.
Hey, we love you too, man.
You guys, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for PG.
Amen.
Love you guys.
God
Take
bless
care.
you. See.
Bless you guys too.
You know, I know where he's coming from, and I understand. You know, I understand where he's coming from, because, you know, law enforcement did know where she was, and they didn't want, you know, they didn't want other people, they didn't want this to happen because they felt that they did have, you know, that was a nice place to keep sight of her too, because there's so many different angles they could watch her from. Now we don't know, right? Now we don't know. So, because they've been asked to leave there. They've been asked to leave there. And I don't blame the hotel from asking, because, you know, that does hurt the business, right? That will hurt the business, for sure. It will hurt their business. AUC, God bless, man. God bless and much love. Absolutely. Boots says they let mama have custody of all 3 of these children, and all 3 of them tested positive for drugs and alcohol in their system when they were born. Yeah, CPS is really for the kids, right? A joke. I don't know. I haven't seen any documentation or any type of proof that there was anything in the system of these children at birth. None of the 3 at birth. All 3 children seem to be, you know, smart. They didn't. None of them seem to have any type of medical issues, or, you know, mental or medical issues. They seem like normal, passing every milestone with no problem as they were progressing in age. So, I mean, I don't see no signs of drug babies in these 3 children of Leilani's. What I did see is, I do see is a mother that did not want her children because she'd rather party than raise her children. She was selfish, self-seeking, and in the wrong way. It wasn't she wasn't selfish when it came to her children and watching over them and not letting anyone else harm or get around them. No. She was selfish as in I want to seek everything, life out there for me and not be boggled down with the bullshit and of raising children and doing all the things that a real mother needs to be doing. Leilani was not a real mom, right? She was more an incubator, is what she was. She did not ravish in motherhood at all. And it sounds like her mother did not ravish in motherhood as well. So they both have something in common. How her mother ended up getting custody of the two boys, I don't know. The baby girl, from my understandings, was not in the custody of the grandmother, but in the custody of Leilani, but was getting ready to be in the custody of the mother if the boyfriend and her could not find residence and proper living quarters and everything for the daughter. Now, that was his daughter as well as it was Leilani's daughter, and they held custody of it. Now, I don't know if he was holding custody or she was, but that was their child. It had not been turned over to grandma yet. Grandma was suing her for the two boys and only the two boys because the two boys is all grandma had custody of. And that's what, to my understandings. So I don't have when they were born. Yeah, CPS is really for the kids, right? A joke. Child Protective Services is a joke regardless. They're just a fucking joke. It's an agency getting tons of money, not doing a damn thing, and really not wanting to do a damn thing. To clean I mean, what I'm saying is at the end of the work shift, you have here's the I'm going to give you a scenario of what is being said inside of child services. Girl, I bet you tired. Yeah, I am. What you do today? I had to go to this house. Oh my god, I didn't even want to go in the yard, let alone that house. They had a big dog, and be honest, girl, I was glad they had a big dog because it's just reason for me not to have to go in there, right? Oh, I know what you talking about, girl. Absolutely. I can be knowing what you talking about. Yeah, somebody else gonna have to handle that case. Yeah, that's for somebody. One of the guys gonna have to get a hold of that case because you too little to be going up on against that big old dog. They might get the police out there. This is gonna have to get a transfer. It is what it's called. So, did anybody ever really get back to the house? Probably not. Were there children in that house that needed help? Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. Just like in the hallways at the school, when the teachers are congregated together and, talking about the children and they spot one coming down the hallway and it's either, and usually it's, girl, what you doing out here in the hallway? Ain't you supposed to be in class? I didn't hear you. What'd you say? You better speak up. What'd you say? I had to go to the office. Oh, well, you need to be getting back to class. Walk a little faster to get there. You had to go to office. Well, you need to get back to class now, right? You don't have to go to office now, do you? Get back into class. And then the child passes on by. And it's like, Oh yeah, I know her parents. Her parents, you know, they think we're just babysitters, show up every day. You know, and that child is a problem in the classroom. We've turned it in a few times. I don't know what, you know. This is how they're talking about your child. What, did you meet her mother? Yeah, I know what you're saying, girl. Mm-hmm. There you go. You know that they talk about these children. They talk to these children, not nice. They talk about the parents, not nice. And this is the shit that, you know, and I have actually heard them tell children, you know, tell these children, I called your mother and I've talked to your mother a couple times. You know, I've had your mom in here and she ain't going to do nothing. And I'm going to have to contact somebody else upon, you know, all of this. You coming in here with all dirty, with lice, not dressed right, you know, belittling the child. Other people walking down the hallway, they're hearing this shit. The child's looking down at the floor, you know, wish it could disappear, right? Unbelievable. If that child needs all that help, bitch, why ain't you doing something to help it? Why ain't you bringing it some clothes to school? Why don't you buy a box of lice medications and give to the mother, you know, put it in a bag, have the child take it home with them, along with some, you know, I'm sure there's thrift stores everywhere. You could get a, you know, see what size it wears, give it some clothes. You know, why don't you try to be nice and help this family before destroying it? Now, if it keeps up after your kindness, I can understand taking it a little further. But until you've tried to help, you know, until you've tried to help, don't judge, right? I cannot imagine working for CPS. I would go home in the in tears every day. I wouldn't. I wouldn't go home in tears every day. I'd be too damn tired, right? PG be too tired. I'd be helping these people clean their house, pick up their yards. You know, I'd be getting all kinds of vouchers to try to help them get furniture in there, get these kids cleaned up and dressed, trying to teach these parents to be better parents and do what they need to be doing, right? Yeah, it could be a waste of time, but maybe not. And for the ones it's not, then it was worth doing, right? I'm not lazy. And I believe that, you know, if I'm sent there, then I'm sent there to help, right? Not hinder anyone. Not hinder anyone. If it's, you know, if it's a bad situation, you know, then I'm not going to be in tears because I'm going to help that kid get the hell out of there, right? I'm not going to say, oh, you know, we'll be back later. I'm like, call the police right now and we're getting the kid the hell out of there, right? Absolutely. If I walked up there to the Wells house, them kids would have been gone. All them freaking dogs, a dirty house. Candace, I mean, you could just look and tell, you know. I would have looked on her Facebook, seeing her blow all that smoke and everything. Them kids would have been gone. I'm sorry. Do your research and get done what needs to be done, right? I would have been knocking on them neighbors' doors, giving them an opportunity to, you know, tell me some shit about what is going on, right? What they know, what they've seen. It don't hurt to ask. Absolutely. It takes a community. It takes a community. God keeps evil from entering your home. No, you keep evil from entering your home with the brains that God gives you. And that's the truth. It's your faith in God Your faith in God that allows, your faith that He's going to instill in you what it takes to keep it out of your presence, right? And away from you. I mean, you can't. God helps them to help themselves. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't, I'm sure God protects our houses. I truly believe He protects our homes. He protects us. Absolutely. His children. But what I'm saying is we have to help God do that, right? By having enough brains to, as I said, distinguish between good and evil. Absolutely. See something, say something. Golden rule. Absolutely. If you see a child being abused and you done nothing about it, you're just as bad as the abusers. You're just as bad as the human abusing that child. You're no damn better. No, if you walk off and feel that you're better than that person, you're wrong. You're not. You're not. Because you know what? You've seen it, you turned a blind eye to it, and every time that child gets beat from that point on, blame yourself. Blame yourself. That child, we are the voice for the voiceless. Children do not have voices. Even, it don't have to be a missing child or a child that's deceased or whatever. That doesn't mean be voiceless. Voiceless is all children. Every child. I like to say 12 and under, but every child 16 and under are voiceless because most abusers g- get to abuse them children. They abuse them children up until 15, 16 years old before those children actually run off or get brave enough. Just imagine 15, 16 years of pure hell and abuse under someone's roof, right? From birth to 15, 16. That feels like eternity, right? That feels like eternity. Eternity. That's a lot of your life taken away. That's your whole childhood, most of your teenhood, all gone. All you got left is your young adulthood, middle age, and your old age, right? You got 3 puffs of smoke left because 2 puffs have already been destroyed by some bastards. How cruel is that? I mean, like little Quentin, he's destroyed before he even got started. But just imagine, how if she wouldn't have did this to Quentin, could you imagine what he would have endured between now and 15 or 16 years old? How much abuse his little body would have endured over the next 14 years? 14 years of abuse like that, had he lived through it all. It's pretty fucked up, right? And a lot of people, did Billie Joe know this? Yeah. The babysitter know? Yes. She said she saw bruises and everything. Even belt marks across the wrist and the face and neck. She said she saw all of this. And some of it, she said, yes, she had reported it to Child Protective Services, but obviously they did nothing, right? They done nothing. And he ended up where he ended up at, right? Because people seen something, they said something, but Child Protective Services didn't do what they need to do because our system is broken. Absolutely. The system is broken. They no longer have orphanages. They no longer have these big buildings. Hell, we don't even have that many prisons, right? We don't even have that many prisons. So, and we definitely have no orphanages. I mean, no mental institutions anymore. They did, they stole all the funding. They took ripped them down, took all the funding, and turned these people all loose on the street, right? So now you got all of these people with mental issues turned loose, having children, abusing the hell out of them, right? And what can Child Protective Services do? They don't have enough people sitting in the front door bringing these kids into their home. Actually, most people don't want them brought into their home because they don't want bed bugs and lice and scabies and all the things that come along with these kids. And they no longer have the orphanages because weirdos were getting jobs there doing heinous things to the children and stuff, right? Too much abuse going on inside. Same way with mental hospitals. I mean, society is just fucked up and evil. They're just fucked up and evil. You can't have anything because the caretakers and the caregivers are a lot of times it's fucked up as any other criminal in the world, right? I mean, go to nursing homes and hear the horror stories that happen to these old people by the people that they're supposed to be able to trust and taking care of them. It's the staff that's doing heinous things to these people. And no one's doing nothing about it, right? You put your parent in there, your grandparent in there, and to get what? Abused? To get fucking abused. And those and your parent and grandparents and stuff are just like a child, afraid to tell because they know that you're not going to move them or get them out of there, right? Or you may move them to a place they're worse than what they're already getting, right? Or at least move them to another place where the one they told on that could possibly, family or something could get to them. So these old people are getting abused constantly and keeping quiet about it. Heinous things happen in these places. And nobody cares because everybody's busy living their life, right? I can't take care of mom and dad because I got a life of my own. Well, what if they said that about you when you were born? Right? Oh, let me tell you, Rosa, some of them foster homes are I hear the horror stories of them foster homes all the time where the kids were getting abused and you know, essayed and all kinds of things. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, evil's just, evil's it don't get no more evil than this, right? I mean, not to take the topic off of what we're doing tonight, at all, but because I'm going to get back on Quentin's case here in just a second, but my thing is, what kind of world are you living in today? Jesus wept. That is the shortest verse in the whole Bible. Jesus wept. For anybody that didn't know it, that's the shortest verse in the whole Bible. Anyhow, the thing is you're living in a world now where children are not safe, old people are not safe, you are not safe, right? You are not safe as well. None of us are safe in this world. You're living in a world where pedos, they're wanting to give pedos blowed up child doll babies like it's okay for them to be pedos, right? I haven't ever heard of such shit in my life, but that is a true statement I just made. Yes, they're wanting to do this. Disgusting, right? Fucking disgusting. They act like it's normal to be that way. It's normal to, for they're teaching your children in school, it's okay to have no gender at all. I'm afraid that you got a gender at birth. You got one, God gave it to you. Embrace it, right? Embrace it. I don't know what all that shit's about either, but it's you're either born a girl or a boy. Embrace that shit. Don't tell me anything different. God don't make mistakes. So, it is what it is. And people are accepting it. People are accepting it. They're accepting, the pedo thing. They're accepting all of this shit. And I don't know why. I don't know why. It's evil. It's pure evil. And all I can think of, if you accept that stuff, if you accept it, then I don't know what to say for you. I really don't. I really don't. I don't accept that shit. I'm sorry. I'm a pew jumping, Bible thumping, God loving human being, and I don't accept it. I'd be the first to stand up and say no, I don't. And if other people accept it, that's their problem, not mine, right? I don't accept it. I don't accept, I don't accept people being alcoholics. I don't accept people being drug addicts. I don't accept any of that because I know all of that destroys lives. It destroys lives. I mean, if you back your children, and getting piercings in their body and getting tattoos on their body and doing all of these things, or this gender stuff or whatever, when they get of age, they're going, and they realize that they don't want that stuff, that stuff has caused them issues, and they're going to blame you, the parent. They're going to blame you. They're going to say, I was a kid, and kids make bad choices. Parents ain't supposed to. So don't be surprised if you have a kid out of control later, not liking you, if you allow these things to go on. What you do with children is you let them get of age and make their own choices then, so they can blame no one but themselves, right? That's what you do. And until then, you tell Johnny, no, you're a boy. No, you ain't getting tattoos or piercings. And if you still feel like you feel now when you're, 21, then you do what you please. Because that's going to be all on you, Johnny, right? So, oh, yeah. Yeah, But you think people worry about Jesus crying? Do you worry? You think they even think about Jesus's tears when they do evil? Do you think they care that Jesus is weeping because of their sins? That he sees they, he said they know not what they do. Do you think they really care about Jesus when they're doing all of this evilness and his tears? They probably that's like probably they didn't even think about Jesus weeping at all. And if they did, if you're an evil human being, you're not going to care anyway, right? I mean, Leilani didn't care about her own child weeping. I'm sure he cried. Her, whatever she did to him, I'm sure she heard him cry, scream out and cry. Where any other body would have picked him up and held him, and would it not ever did anything evil to him. But she didn't care. I mean, you think people that don't care about their own babies or their own mothers or sisters or brothers or anyone else crying, all they care about is their tears. That's all they care about is their bucket of fucking tears. Nobody else's. It is what it is in this world today. And the better we understand that, the safer we will be. Guard yourself against people like that. They're evil and dangerous. But anyway, yeah, here, I'm going to take this down and finish showing you guys the clips. Here's the hotel where she decided, a double room with 2 double beds, right? Get used to that big comfortable bed, bitch, because you're going to get a cot in jail, right? There you go. Your freaking jail cell ain't gonna look like no hotel room. I can bet you fucking that right now. Little Quinton's in a landfill and she's in here enjoying a big fucking fish tank, right? Her and mommy's enjoying this big fish tank and that nice ass vending machine right there, right? They can get what that baby would have loved to got some chips out of that vending machine, right? He would have loved to have been looking at all those little fishies and stuff in that water. But no, he ain't enjoying that. But that bitch was, right? She was. And that big old pool, that big pool right there, yeah. She's out there enjoying that too. She's probably sitting that chair right there that lifted her ass down into the water. Right? Because she's too fucking lazy to get in there herself. This is what she's out there enjoying. Big lounge chairs, big double bed, freaking microwave, refrigerator. Open the door back, get fresh air. I bet that little baby would have loved to been in there bouncing up and down on that beautiful bed and looking out over the scenery and getting some snacks out of that refrigerator, watching the big TV set. Absolutely. But it's out in the landfill. It ain't getting dinner. It's being the dinner for a bunch of rats and everything, right? Let us keep that in mind. I don't know why that went down. I ain't done with it. Yeah. Thought they supposed to keep a Bible in these places. I've seen everything but the Bible, right? No, maybe that made us another right that's been taken away from people, is to have the Bible in a hotel room. I don't know. Oh, damn, she's even got a little coffee pot right there, right? She got a little coffee pot, freaking hair dryer. Make sure, make sure her hair looks nice. All kinds of soaps and shit. And right here, across the road there, you can see where the bar where she decided that she just loved to go drinking at, right? And they went down to another one down the road there. They went to the one to get them some food, and they had dinner and drinks, right? The old Stingray, best seafood. She's out having the best damn seafood. And little Quentin, well, we know where Quentin's at. Oh, sweet Norway, God bless you. Good night, and God bless you all. I love you all. Much love. Much love to you. Good night, sweetie. God bless. But yeah, that's what, absolutely. I appreciate that, Jess. She said, please hit that like button and subscribe. Also ring the bell for all notifications. God bless. Absolutely, girl. I appreciate that. And when you do that, it shows that you're supporting these missing children here. And it is greatly appreciated. But yeah, they were out here partying, having a good old time, right? Hooping and hollering it up, having the best times of their lives on the rum board right there. And law enforcement was having a good time in a bunch of hazmat suits, smelling garbage at the city dump, right? Oh, wow. What a nightlife there, right? That's a place to see and be seen. How beautiful, right? How beautiful, Leilani. Billie Joe. How wonderful it must be to have your freedom. No kids now. You and grandma can just get out and party, right? $300 bill. $300 meal ticket there, right? $300. That's what I was hearing. 300. Look at that. Look at all that food. How they even got, a side of all kinds of shit. Must be nice. Corn on the cob. Crab legs, coleslaw. Damn. Yep, must be beautiful. And then from my understandings, they just went on down the road. They just went on down the road and partied out a little more. How low can you go? Death row. Let's hear that again. Wow. Ain't it fun, right? How fun is that?
How low can you go? Death row.
Ooh. She enjoyed listening to that music, right? She probably thought she's really somebody when she's busting a move to that. Yeah. How low can you go, Leilani? Death row, right? I think you ready to go as low as you can go, hon. I really do. I really do. Because when they pick that baby's body up out there, that's pretty much what that's gonna be your low, hon. That's gonna be your low. Your low. You just, stick your hand out for your TikTok and start Start bending your knees down. Low, 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 right? Low, low, low. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. There you go, Leilani. That's a new TikTok video for your ass, right? There ain't gonna be no grocery cart there. It's just gonna be low, low, low. Death row. There you go. Bitch. That's what that's what you get. That's what you get. When you decide to go and care more about all of this shit, all of this, when you care more about all of that shit, that's what you get. Should have cared about your kids. Should have cared about your babies. You know? That's what you should have cared about. Fuck drugs. Fuck alcohol. You know? Fuck them dicks that just want to use you up. Fuck all that. But no. Bitches like you always say, fuck my babies. Fuck my kids, right? You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of fucking shit is what you are. There you go. I said it. I can't stand humans that don't put their children first, right? Your kids come first. And above all. Because they need you the most. They don't need you. The drug man don't need you. The freaking bar on the corner don't need you. Them children do. Them children do. And that little boy needed you that night. And you fucking destroyed him. And didn't only destroy him, but had the fucking audacity to throw him away like a fucking rapper, right? You threw him away like a chewed up piece of bubble gum, a used up Brillo pad. What the fuck was you thinking? Oh, I forget, you weren't thinking, were you? Oh, you don't even remember. Right? Bullshit. Bullshit. That's just pure bullshit. Remember that, Leilani? Do you remember that? You remember this? We're all going to remember it, right? It's burned in our minds for eternity. It's burned in our minds for eternity. We will always remember Quentin, the beautiful child that this bitch destroyed. We will always remember that. Living its life however the fuck it wants to. And not look at that smile on that face. Not giving a damn about anything else. And this is after her baby's gone, right? After her baby's gone. Yeah. Yeah. But let us not forget as well this right here. Let's not forget this. Endless hours. Endless hours to find this baby. Endless hours. I wonder how much more does society have to take before we stand up and we stand together to change things around in this country? Number one is our laws for child abusers. Number 2 is Child Protective Services to get off their asses and do their job, or quit taxing the fucking hell out of us for doing nothing, right? I mean, every case I've heard of, Child Protective Services was in it and didn't win it. So if they're not in to win, why the hell are we funding them? Right? Why are we funding them? They have no problem. No problem. You know, like walking into parents' houses, middle class, upper class homes, and talking shit. You know, talking shit with people that, you know, have clean children, big clean house, plenty of food and stuff in the refrigerator. They have no problem, you know, taking these people to court because, you know, the kid was riding a bicycle the wrong way on the road, or, you know, or doing something, cutting a class or two at school, and here they come in your home like it's a big fucking deal, right? And you got to get lawyers and all this shit, and you know, they have no problems doing that. But when it comes to these children that really need them, like Quentin, they couldn't save it. When it came to, you know, what I'm saying is, Billie Joe was a felon. She couldn't have a gun. Why was she allowed to have these children? Why was she? And are they going to get these kids back after they find out she's out partying with her daughter, sucking down alcohol, and partying with her daughter after her daughter just did all of this shit? You know, I don't understand. I'm bringing you up, B. Did you want to shut the camera or you want to keep it open, hon? It's up to you. I just don't want to bring you up if you want to close the camera. How you doing, B?
I'm doing good. I haven't been on in a while, but oh man, this thing with this baby is horrible, horrible.
You got that right. You got that right, girl. I mean, you know,
Well, I'll tell you a little experience of mine. The reason, not only the baby being dead, but with the mama. My son-in-law is in the Army, CW4 in Savannah.
mm-hmm.
My daughter and I went, rented the Airbnb for a week because he was going to Afghanistan in Savannah. We went over to Tybee Island to eat. It is one of the most expensive places there is. We really could not afford it. We maxed out my credit card because he was leaving, and we didn't know whether we would ever see him again or not.
Right.
He's over there rescuing our soldiers that are under fire and getting them to safety. And you got a baby killer mama. It took me the whole year he was in Afghanistan to pay off my credit card.
Right.
And you got a killer baby mama and a grandmama over there partying. There's something wrong with this shit.
Amen.
I mean, what the hell is people thinking? They're criticizing people that's over there, you know, trying to get help, trying to bring publicity to it, trying to get this woman in jail, saying, you know, they're talking about Dolly and Bullhorn, and maybe everybody don't like what they're doing. But you know what? They're doing something. They're trying to, they're exposing this
Amen.
baby
You know,
killer.
absolutely. And you know, I'm all for that. When they were in front of the first few, you know, the first few, I have learned that it's very important to do exactly what they're doing in the first few days and weeks of a child missing. I mean, if they'd have been down in Tennessee doing that, this, you know, Summer's case may have been solved now. Absolutely. But, you know, once you see law enforcement is really in there doing all they can do, like in this particular case, and they definitely have all the feds in there, like 40 of them all over America, best brains they got, joining together in all of this. You know, what I'm saying is, once the feds knew she's at that hotel and they have every angle to keep an eye on her, I don't agree with that being ruined, because now who knows? What I'm saying is,
Yeah.
she's moved now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do that and you want to keep the publicity going, then do it in front of the home the way they were doing it. Go out to the landfill and
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
basically cheer on the law enforcement, take bottled water out there, whatever, and show
I
them that
agree.
you absolutely care, and this is a way to get publicity as well, right? But
It is,
don't
and I tell you,
don't follow the don't follow the suspect to places like that where
yeah,
law
don't give them any
enforcement.
more we don't want to give them any more publicity. And I promise you, the FBI knows exactly where they are and knows exactly
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing. And we need to be praising those people at the landfill
Right.
that's in the hazmat suits that are subjecting themselves to needles, to heroin, to fentanyl, to shit, to
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
imagine what they are having to dig through and see out of people's household garbage.
I couldn't
Uh,
imagine.
I can't either. And they're the real heroes in this. They're
Mm-hmm.
exposing themselves to stuff that may affect them the rest of their life. They could come up
Right.
with any kind of disease.
Right.
And there's not enough praise for what
And that's what I was
these
about to
people are doing.
that's what I was about to say, because there's a lot of bio shit, like stuff that should be burned, being put in
Yes.
trash cans in people's homes. Like, people, I mean, I don't know if how many people's ever seen flesh eating disease, but let me
Uh,
tell you, I have seen how they pack the holes in their body. That's totally pure infection. It's flesh eating. And then when they change them galls, they just put it in a trash bag, and that's where it ends up. And these men are out there subjecting themselves to this shit, right?
absolutely. Yeah. People
It's
throw their
disgusting.
dead dogs in the trash. People throw dead cats in the trash. I would
Yeah.
never, but people don't understand that not everybody thinks about what they're throwing in the trash. It's like, oh
Amen.
well, the dog got run
Right.
over by a car. You just throw him in the trash can, and he goes to the dump, and that it decomposes out there. I am appalled at what they're having to go through at this landfill, and they need to be getting credit for what they're doing.
Amen. Once in a while, me and my kids would see, like, me and my kids would see, like, a dead bird or something like that,
Yeah,
um, in the yard or whatever. And what do we do? Get a shovel. You get a shovel, right?
absolutely.
And you dig a hole. You put the bird in that hole, and cover it up, and you let the kids make a little cross, and you put on it, and
Yeah.
you know that it's in a better place, and you did the respectful thing for it. Yeah, it's just a little bird, but you did what was right for that animal. And
Well,
that's what we're supposed to do, right? That's what we're supposed to do.
yes,
I've seen people bury horses, right? They bury horses because it's the
yes,
proper thing to do. And that's a lot of damn digging, but they dig it.
yeah. Well, I'm in Alabama, so people have chicken houses, and sometimes they lose 10, 20 a day. And there's a protocol they go through. They have to dig a hole. It has to be vented for so many weeks. Um, People just doesn't realize that first of all, she dumped that baby at a trailer park. She knew those
Mhm.
people there at that trailer park. She'd been there before.
Oh, yeah. Well,
She's
I
a
think she
drug
lived there.
addict.
I think
That's right.
that's where they lived at one point, from my
Mhm.
understandings.
She's a drug addict. She had friends there. It's probably a big community there where people are gathering to live, and there's no telling what they're putting in that garbage.
Right.
So that's what goes to the
Absolutely.
landfill. People don't know. Reasonable people don't put stuff in their garbage like that. She is a killer, and for them to be somewhere having drinks and having a good time is
Yep.
unexcusable in this society. And that's why I say Jesus wept. You know, when Jesus saw what was going on in the city of Jerusalem, Jesus fell on his knees and wept. Now, look what's going on in our country now. If you don't think Jesus is not weeping, he
Oh,
is.
I know he is. I absolutely
He
know he.
is.
Um, that if you know
I might have.
that's I hate to say it, but you know I have asked kids, I have asked children that they, I know they're telling me a lie, and I tell them, do you realize you're making Jesus cry right now? No, I
I
ain't.
think about that all the
Yes, you
time.
are. I tell them, yes, you are. Anytime you do bad, Jesus feels bad. He hung on that cross so you could have eternal life, do righteous and have eternal life, right? And
Exactly.
I'm sure he's sad and crying. Wouldn't you be sad and crying if you went through so much to to help someone, and then they disrespected you and was mean about it and everything? Wouldn't that make you, weep?
Exactly. I have
And
3
yes,
children and 3 grandchildren, and they say,
yeah.
"Oh, let me tell you what happened today at school, and we did this and that and the other." And I
Hmm.
always say, "And Jesus wept." And they're like,
Right.
Grandmama, don't say that all the time." I'm like, "And Jesus wept today then."
Amen.
Because that's
And
what I tell them. You're disappointing Jesus. But when
I
people have
have
hard
watched
times,
I have watched children that I say that to completely make a U-turn,
it
and
does
they
ring a bell with
and
them
they
because
and they tell and they tell the truth. I started taking this one little boy to church with me and my children, and he was a real something.
yeah,
I
they
mean,
can
don't give
be.
me, he was a real something. He was a little mean, and but that didn't bother me much. You know what I'm saying? That didn't bother me a lot. And and I told him that he wanted to make God proud and happy, and and he wanted to live forever, right? When this life's done, he wants to live forever with, not in a bad place, but the good place, right? And
That's exactly
you
right.
know, he was in the he gets in the behind, the pew behind me, and I was for sure that he's probably making faces at people or doing something. And I turned around to look back there, and this little feller's praying. So if you think your
Oh,
words
how awful.
cannot change a human's life, they do. And from then on, he was starting to get as good as my children. He wanted to be good like them, he wanted to be kind and nice like them. I mean, it was just such a turnaround. It shocked even me personally. It shocked me. But
Yes, but you can.
you can lead. You can lead other humans, especially children, down a righteous path. Children more so than adults. You can lead.
Yep. Well, that's the 2
And
things we talk about in our family, especially with my grandchildren, and
mhm.
they will tell me, "Oh, we had a fight today. We were fussing," and I said, um, "And God don't like ugly."
Amen. He sure
So
don't. You got
anytime
boy.
anybody says anything ugly or something happens at school and they're telling me about it, and they'll say, "Oh, you just don't know." And Ashton told that boy today that God don't like ugly. And I said, I am so proud of him.
Amen.
So they
Amen.
do pass it on. These, if you reiterate this stuff day after day after day, when they visit with me, of course they fuss. They're children, and they fuss and they get into arguments and they snatch something away from the other one. It's always somebody always says, "And God don't like ugly." You don't have to spank
And-
your kids. You don't have to beat your kids if they realize the real truth of the Bible. There's only two phrases you have to say is God don't like ugly and Jesus wept. That's it. That's the way
Amen.
we run our household. And they do get in trouble. They're all teenagers. They get in trouble but they understand. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to get disciplined. But the biggest problem is God don't like ugly and Jesus wept today. I think that sticks with children more than a spanking.
Amen. I um, I've got 4 of my own. I've got 4.
I had
And
3.
I have
Ooh.
three sons and a daughter. And I promise you, my boys give me no problems at all. None.
Oh, with the
My
girls.
daughter,
I have 1 son and 2 girls, and believe you
oh,
me.
my daughter is he's something, you know.
Yeah,
I
we call
absolutely
our
love
2
that
girls
child.
sassy sissies. Both of them. We say, "Okay, sassy, go ahead. Go ahead, sassy. Go ahead, sassy." That's
Yeah.
what we tell 'em.
She gives her she tries to give her brothers a little bit of hell once in a while. I
Oh,
mean,
I know.
they ain't gonna have it, but she does. She she's just
Yeah.
and I tell you, I have I have had to whoop her ass. You know,
Oh, we
I
have
have,
ours too. We believe in
but
discipline.
for the most part, she's and the reason I had to whip her then is because I had to get her back. She was hanging around with her little friend and wanting to
Yeah.
she wasn't keeping the way she wasn't keeping the way that she's supposed to be walking in. And then she wanted to give me a little bit of backlash. This is, I've only had to whip her like a couple of times, but she giving me some, the backlash that, want to be like that little friend. And like I told her, this ain't your little friend's house. You're not your little friend. I don't know what that family puts up with, but let me tell you something. PG don't put up with that shit, right? Not at all. I put her right back in line, and she ain't ever got out of line again. So, you know, it is what it is. But kids will test you, right? They would test you. If I'd let her got away with, God only knows what I'd had on my hands today. So absolutely not. That ain't happening. And another time is because she wanted to jump her brother. You can't do that. But kids will be kids. But my daughter's the only one. I really don't have problems with anybody else, and any of the other children. So I don't know. It's like them girls. They become something different. Anyway, this is a horrible case, an absolute horrible case. I can't believe that, I can't believe that day one we find out this baby, what happened to it happened to it. I can't believe that, the boyfriend done took off. He's gone. I think to be honest with you, I think he flipped on her. I think that he's waiting. He's over in Atlanta, Georgia. He got the clarity to leave. But I think he's, you know, going to be a witness against Leilani, to be perfectly honest with you. Not only did she do what she did, she lied about, you know, leaving the property. They know she did. I believe that whatever happened to Quentin before the babysitter was ever texted by the boyfriend. I think that, you know, they wasn't going to even call the police until the babysitter showed up and basically was pushing it on them, or she was going to do it herself. She was getting involved, right? And they knew they really didn't have much of a choice at that point. This case is a mess. It's an absolute mess. And I don't know what to say. It's kind of like the Wells case, right? It's kind of like the Wells case with better law enforcement handling it. I mean, you've got all of these players, the babysitter, mom, you know, grandpa, a son in prison already, for murder, a daughter that's out of control, and, you know, basically a Candace that just done her child in my opinion. And, you know, a Grandis standing behind her, right? Unbelievable. Many times I have used that advice. I cannot tell you how many times that I said that 6, 8, 10 hours straight over and over. It saved my soul and probably my life by repeating those words. Amen. My mom once told me over and over, if you've ever scared or kidnapped, mind you, I was born in 68. She said, you say you're covered in the blood of Jesus until it's over, and I can't even tell you how. Well, yeah, that is yeah, that was Zane's dad. And Zane's dad is already with another lady, already got children with her, and he wants his dad to get custody because he knows, you know, he probably can't pass the drug test and all the things to get custody. And therefore I don't think it'll be another case of Billie Joe and Leilani. I think that it's best that, you know, they find somewhere else to put Zane. Absolutely. We don't need round 2 of this, right? Absolutely not. The boyfriend didn't see Quinton early that morning. She left earlier that morning and put him in a dumpster, the garbage can. The garbage man could have seen him. The dumpster is hooked up to the truck. Now, I don't know when she took Quentin down to that can. I don't know if it was before the babysitter was texted or after the babysitter was texted. I don't even know if it wasn't maybe the boyfriend dumped him on the way to work. I don't know who dumped him. You know, I know Leilani's phone pinged. He could have took her phone instead of his with him. We don't know exactly what happened, right? We ain't got all the facts yet. Yeah, the boyfriend called. The boyfriend made the 911 call at 9:30. The boyfriend also texted at 6 something. That's what's making me think, or at 5:30 he texts. That's what's making me think that the boyfriend took her phone, and she probably had his phone. She probably texted the babysitter off of his phone because he had hers on his way to work, and he might have been the one that dumped Quentin because there wasn't no video footage that I know of. There was just a ping from her phone in that area, and that's why they, that's why they, he might have admitted that he threw the baby in the dumpster after she did something, and that's why they're out there looking. I don't know. I mean, they seem to be sure that Quentin's there, like positive. So I'm thinking that the boyfriend's done talked. I think he's already talked to get immunity or to get, a lesser charge for his actions in all of this. That's what I'm thinking. I think they are boots. I really do. If Quentin's there, they're going to find him. Trust and believe that. If he's there, they're going to find him. These guys are on a mission. They're on a mission. And anytime people's on a mission like that, they will not give up. I know I wouldn't. And I don't think they're going to either. So they're going to find him. Trust and believe that. That's true. He could have been the one that did it. And she might be covering for him. Yeah, they're all involved, right? I mean, her and her boyfriend are definitely in cahoots to whatever happened to Quentin. Absolutely. I don't think that he's all innocent. And she don't remember anything. Right? I'll lock her in jail for life, not even a trial. A lot of people would. Absolutely. As their cornfields by or in a 3-hour drive. I don't know. I have no idea. Yes, they have named a mom the primary suspect. They have. Oh yeah, they definitely got evidence. Whatever they found in that house, or I heard it was out by the pool, but whatever they found on that concrete, I think is, that little play area must have been where it went down. Because, behind that fence, that white gated fence in the play area, I think that must have been where it went down, because that was the area that, they emptied the pool and everything. I heard that's where they found, what they needed to know that Quentin was no longer with us anyway. So whatever they found, inside the home and outside around that pool area somewhere on that back porch is definitely is must have been a lot, of a lot to make them understand that. So that's crazy, right? It had to be pretty bad, to be honest. God only knows what that girl did. Nope, they ain't leaving until they find Quinton. The garbage dump is not letting any trash in the dump. I don't know how big the town is, but there's tons of trash that was placed there that day. Oh yeah, a lot came in, but I'm sure they got a hold of the Pacific driver. I'm sure that he had a pretty good general idea of where he dumped at. So, it's all good. They'll find him. If he's there, they will find him. Plus, I heard the brother is involved in the cover up, and they're looking at him plus grandma. You're talking 4+ people getting arrested on this. This is a cluster. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's pretty bad, right? It's pretty bad. Yeah. Um, you know, I think within a few days we're going to know something. Absolutely. Over the next few days. I mean, it would not surprise me if they don't stumble upon his remains within the next couple of days. And all hell breaks loose at that point, right? It'll all be bad at that point. Oh yeah, they carried all kinds of evidence out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I don't know. I mean, something definitely, led him to believe he is no longer with us, and that means that there had to have been like a massive amount of blood, right? A massive amount of blood found for them to come to that conclusion. I don't think they're charging the brother at all. The brother was in the house. Billie Joe's younger son was in the house. I don't think they're charging him with anything because he was asleep. Billie Joe was out of town. They're not going to charge her with anything other than child endangerment for leaving the children in the custody of Leilani after she's lost custody. And therefore she probably won't ever be getting custody back of the children or any other children from now on through Child Protective Services. So, but we all seen the police report and how she said that, Leilani, her boyfriend, and the kids were destroying and tearing up her house. She really didn't want them kids there either, right? Read the police report between the lines. She didn't want them boys no more then she wanted Leilani and her boyfriend in that house, right? So now she's got what she wants, right? It's everything's hers now. She has Billie Joe don't have to worry about, anybody being in the house but the people she wants, right? Leilani's about to, be prosecuted and in prison like her older son. And all the grandbabies are gone. Little Quinton's no longer with us from what law enforcement's saying. And it has been led to believe. And it is what it is, right? It is what it is. And the other two children are in Child Protective Services now. And, Leilani, don't ever have to worry about, you don't ever have to worry about, being a mother again. And Billie Joe don't ever have to worry about, people being in the house, tearing it all up like she was complaining on that police report. So they seemed to got what they wanted and was out celebrating it yesterday, right? They was out celebrating. So I don't know what to tell them. Oh, she's going to jail. Yeah, if the grandmother didn't leave Quentin there, yes. And the babysitter offered to keep him till she came back from wherever she was, and she said, no, I'm going to give my daughter a chance to prove to me that she can do, she can take care of her kids. Well, how is your daughter going to prove anything to you if you're not there? If you want to let your daughter prove shit to you, then you need to be there when she's proving it, right? And if you're not there, you need to put those babies where they're the safest, and the babysitter's house would have been it. But you didn't. And you are responsible. Billie Joe is more responsible for what happened to Quinton than Leilani is. I mean, I know Leilani did it, but Billie Joe gave her the access to get it done, right? There you go. Yeah, they are partying like it's 1999 without a care in the world, because I think they know they're looking in the wrong place for the baby, so they're not worried about it. I don't think they're looking in the wrong place for the baby. I think these people are just, I think these people are just ignorant. I think they're uncaring. I don't think they really give a damn. Leilani thinks she's going to. Leilani thinks she's going to be the next. She thinks she's going to be the next. Casey Anthony, right? That's what she thinks. She thinks that she's going to, go to court and all of this stuff and walk her ass out of there. She's wrong. She's absolutely wrong. If that's what she's planning on, she can forget about it, right? She can forget about it. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up for the night. We've been through a lot tonight. I think we've had a great night. And we covered Leilani and her partying. We definitely know it was her. She was definitely there. There's Mama acting, old Mama likes to drive that bike and look like a badass. I mean, Lady, you're too fucking old to act like this. You know what I'm saying? You're just too fucking old. Just too old, right? I mean, I don't know. The mind frame of people I don't understand. But, you're either classy or trashy. These people are trashy. We went through the hotel, all the good things, mama's sitting around while her baby's in a dump somewhere. And this bitch is just, out there straight partying it up, right? Look at that. I mean, not giving a fucking care in the world, as you said. You're absolutely right. There she is, having a good old time, right? Maybe, unbelievable. Maybe they could give her some of the money off the ceiling to get, help her pay for the lawyer. And this is her choice of music. Yeah. That's about her speed right there. That's about their speed. Unbelievable. And the only one, right there. Right there's the one that, suffered it all, right? He suffered it all. Unbelievable. So, I don't know. And there she is, after doing it all, right? How could anybody look at her fucking face after knowing she destroyed that, right? Unbelievable. I'm going to get her off my screen. Okay. As I ask every night, please keep those prayers going up for Summer. Please keep them going up for Quentin. Let's pray that, they're both found, right? Let's pray they're both found. And that we get justice for both of them. I know we're going to get it for Quentin. I know that. I just wish we could get it for Summer as well, right? And, but with God, all things are possible. So let's not lose hope. And pray for one another. Keep praying for one another. For my sweet Norway. I haven't seen Tennessee Shine in here in a while. Let's keep those prayers going up for her as well. And anyone else needing prayer. I've seen a lot of people on my Facebook asking for prayer. So let's pray for them and pray for one another. Even if you're doing great, let's pray we keep doing that way, right? Keep going in that direction. Absolutely. And know that PG is always praying for everybody here. I'm always praying for everybody. Every day I go to church, I pray for everyone, not someone. So let's keep those prayers going up. And most of all, let's keep faith. Let's keep faith in God that He's going to answer. Because I know He will. At some point He will. And we'll be jumping up and down and praising the Lord. All glory to God, right? Absolutely. So good night, everyone. Much, much love. And God bless. God bless. Let's put up the purple hearts, blue hearts for Summer and Quentin. Let's show them that we support them, we love them, and we're going to keep moving forward for them.